Yeah, the window's open.
It was
still
fucking hot.
73 degrees
It
in
was
here.
hot.
There's a man named Ron Cleveland, you know he's the real deal. Real deal. Out in the wild, casting lines where the water meets the real. He's got a heart full of fire and hands that build with pride. In his garage late at night, where the dreams come alive. Ooh, dreams come alive. Oh yeah. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the show. Ron's the kind of guy who'll light up a grill with a sizzle and a laugh. Got that backyard thrill. He's out there on the weekends, pitching up the tent, living life his own way. Every single cent well spent. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the show. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. From the garage to the river, with friends by his side. Tune in and join Ron, it's a hell of a ride. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the grab a chair, pour a drink, and let's sit a while. Ron Cleveland's live, bringing country style, with friends in the mix and the grill in between. This is Ron Cleveland's world, where life is serene. And the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. The garage to the river, with friends by his side. Tune in and join Ron, it's a hell of a ride. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Enjoy the show. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. From the garage to the river.
I'm going to put the right size hose in here, a 5/16, and lay that in. We're eventually going to need that anyway. So I can get this clamped correctly and that clamped correctly. We'll crank on it, see if we're getting a fuel leak here. Sometimes around where this is a two-piece unit, but where it's clamped on by a machine, it'll
I got one messing with me as soon as I dropped it on.
And hopefully we don't have to replace that. Doesn't look too terrible, but let's get this line in quick and we'll try it again. New fuel line in, used all the original clamps and locations. So we'll crank it again. We won't be able to see the fuel, but it should fill those bowls. The needle's probably stuck, who knows. But right now we're troubleshooting this to see if that's leaking. Okay.
Damn it, did it again. I'm hoping that's all working. I haven't had a chance to look at nothing. As soon as I drop this in, I'm getting
I don't know
hit.
what's happening. Let's go look. Should have made a mess.
Set him a minnow.
Okay, no leak. And I don't know if it's still done or not. Okay, we do have spark. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the ignition system now. And we could very quickly, potentially, hear this thing
ride,
which would be awesome. Then we gotta decide if we're gonna try to hit the road early, if we're gonna spend time drop the tank or if we just run a hose into a jug. Not quite sure yet. Let's get some new sparkulators in here. New lightning hoses. I'm going to start with the sparkulators, I believe. Oh, I broke this. No way. They're cheaply made.
The thing is, I haven't gotten the hook into any of them. Get this on.
New sparkulators are in. I think we're going to go ahead and replace these lightning hoses that look very old. And I've got a cap for it as well. So let's go ahead and do that at the same time.
That one's set.
That looks like just 2 screws. One down here, one there. Whole thing should come off. Quite a mess going here in this little project.
Okay.
Pull this out of the way.
I don't know if this is working yet or not.
And I think I'll run lightning hoses on the new cap first based on length because I don't have the firing order memorized for this particular vehicle.
Jammer, what's happening? As soon as I started firing up the stream, I started getting a couple of hits, so.
Does this rotor come off?
Been running a rip and wrap trying to call some of these dudes in, but
I am going to take file.
they come look at it, but they don't hit it.
We'll file the edge of this. Get some fresh metal showing.
I'm out on the lake myself.
Transfer spark.
Right on.
There we go. Okay. Now. Import. Distributor. Okay, is it the same thing? Quality inspection. Oh, they are labeled right on here. Okay. So, why do I have 9 of these? This one. That would be this guy. And the next shortest. These 2 are identical twins. Do that. See how that? Okay. And we'll do this guy.
I can get them to come up and look at this, but they won't hit it.
This guy is 4.
So I'm going to throw a bobber rod down here.
Swing this bad boy down here. Doesn't fit. Completely the wrong size. Okay, so let's just practice on fire going. So we're going to take all these off. We're going to return this for $3.
I got one walleye in the bucket.
Perfect. And we're
Threw a couple back.
Like I was saying, we're going to reuse
They're
the
just
old
little
cap.
bitty guys.
No reason to replace it. Seems perfectly warm in here. Oh boy. All the maintenance they did on this vehicle. Ignition wasn't.
Barrican says good timing. Just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, after I talked to you, I went and took a nap.
Lots of sulfur and material buildup on these. Same thing, just going to file these until we get some good, clean metal showing.
Jammer MN asks, did the walleye hit the dead stick?
No, they wouldn't touch the. I had a jigging wrap on there and they wouldn't touch it. They'd look at it, but they wouldn't touch it.
Some fancy people spray cleaner.
So we're going to drop a dead stick down.
Barrican says got lights up EH.
That was the main goal.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting those 3 Saudi beers and cleaning up the contacts. Right there. Gonna let this sit for a second. That'll dry out quickly. We're gonna put back together. Ouch. Sting. Burn. Oof. Owie. Okay. This thing was looking rougher than a night in jail.
LMAO, fuck this TTTS.
This will work fine. It's just so much faster.
I knew it.
Being how cheap they were, but apparently there's a big difference in everything. I just thought from the, what I'm talking about is carb to fuel injection, and I think 86, 87 is kind of when it got weird. I thought it was 84 through 87. But anyway, I thought they just put a fuel rail on the puppy and bam, they were done, but turns out the ignition's different. I'm sure the camshaft's different. The exhaust is probably different. Obviously, the fuel pump is digital.
Billy says, hey Ron, Barrican.
What's up, brother?
Okay, do this again. One, 2, 4, 3. Pretty standard firing order for a 4-cylinder, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe.
I got a bunch of marks on the bottom.
Yeah.
It has been like gusts between 40 and 50 miles an hour all day today. The snow has been drifting up around the house, which has been a blessing because I used it to bank the fish house, so I'm not going through as much propane.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? 3, 4. Ask Jeeves. 4, 3, 2, 1. So I might have done this backwards.
I saw your wind was out of control.
Yeah, it was nuts.
4 is the shortest. 1 is the longest. Alright. Ask Jeeves. Help me. Understand. 1, 3, 4, 2. There we go. Yeah. Okay. 4 would be the shortest. Okay. 2.
So I got a couple of things going on. I'm running the TTS on the stream phone to see how well that works. See if it shuts itself off or not. It shouldn't. As you can see, we're illuminated with
Not ideal.
LED light strips.
No. I forgot to pick up some True Fuel. Don't really have a way to prime this. Might have to rely on the pump actually pumping and filling the bowl the correct way. I'm sure it'll work. It's just we gotta be a little more patient.
OG says I like it.
Cheap wires. Everything's been moving around on me. Now this plug wire.
That phone is going to go through a little bit because for whatever reason IRL chat doesn't show up on an app search anymore.
Jim Maui asks, can the color be changed on the strips if you wanted?
Why, it's funny you should ask that, sir.
Billy says Bago claimed a life today here. UTV drove right into a Christmas tree marked huge hole. Was in water for 20 minutes before they got both out. One didn't make it. Weekend warriors don't check lake conditions before heading out.
Sure. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Thank you. You're welcome.
But yes, I can.
Okay, losing my mind.
I can change the colors.
Trash.
I only lined one side of the fish house, just the side that I fish on, and I've got 100 feet of stripping.
Fancy remote.
Okay, we got Earl. spark. New sparkulator lightning hoses. Clean the rubber and cap. Got a battery in the thing. New fuel line and fuel making happener. Throttle's probably stuck. Line jammed into a gas jug.
OG asks, can we disco?
See what
Yep.
happens. It should at least try to start. Come on. We pump it a couple times.
Watch Got by Script Garage up on the TV. I've realized the fact that a lot of people don't like the TV going on in the background.
Big Daddy yells weather cop, just cheers.
Nice. Thank you for the biddies.
I think this fuel making happener is going to be our Achilles tendon. Achilles heel. Our Achilles splitting.
$200 I spent at the gas station today, getting snacks, getting propane. I didn't get gas. I still have to go back tomorrow and go get gas.
I see the problem.
Billy says TV on in background isn't bad.
This fuel floating.
I know, but last year people complained about it because I was watching TV while I was streaming, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care.
That's why
I don't, because if people aren't talking to me or if I'm watching something, I pay attention to the chat.
I'm not doing anything. Sorry, big guy.
But I'm out here to enjoy myself,
See fuel.
you know, and I just bring you guys with me, and I have to keep remembering that stuff.
If I open what I can with the butter.
Like right now.
OG asks, did you see the meme I posted in Discord?
I think that is
No.
stuck.
Let me look. Oh, hold on. We got a live one.
So, oh boy, here we go with that. Took me a bit, but I got freed up with the big standard. Had to bang on this cam shift,
Got 'em.
basically, or whatever that is, lever.
Then I lost him. As soon as I went to go get the deucer out. Son of a bitch. Disconnect and say
Let's see
fuck
if
it.
it's moving. So this is vacuum actuated. So it's really a one barrel unless you really get in her. You know. Then you get more action, I guess. I don't know. Let's try it now. See what it does. Come on, girl.
That's three of them I've missed.
Alright, you can bring the thunder. That's pretty blue sky, isn't it? Bring clouds. Bring some clouds. Let me pump it. I think that's where it got that fuel from. Come on.
Let's do her good. Let's do her again.
Yeah. I don't think we got an accelerator pump. I'm not sure how that works in this particular fuel mix happener.
There's still more down there. I can see them. They're not hitting that front one. They were.
Definitely not seeing that. Yeah. No. Take this screw out. What does this do? Let's take that off. Well, I've wrapped on the thing. I got it primed just a little bit. Let's
They're on it again.
Beat on this. I thought this would come out and we could check to see if it was getting fuel. But
Well,
it
is this
doesn't
the
see
sturgeon?
pressure adjustment. So I've got it set back to right here. Seems to be getting fuel. So now that I got these freed up and they seem to be moving better. That one looks a little bent. Let's twist on the key. She's gonna
Oh,
fire
here we
right
go
off.
again.
Bring the thunder. Whoa! Go. Come on.
right out of his mouth again. Damn it. They're just not, they're grabbing the tail, but they're just not taking it. Like I feel the minnow let loose. And my bobber's under the ice.
Want to crank it again?
That's mint. Good thing I got more.
Huh. That needle is probably sticking up again. Oh, there's Phil right there. I think the accelerator pump is shot.
Try a little bit smaller minnow this
You
time.
need a lever. A lever would work handy. If only there was a new one in a box behind me.
That sounds impossible.
Well, for Pete's sake. I thought it would just fire up and run. What's the deal?
It did for like 0.3 seconds, but
Yeah. I wonder. Oh, I wish.
That's the first time I've ever lost with them under the ice.
Let's do some bucket fuel. Right into the. Yeah, this is the varnish. Here we go. I'm trying to teach you a lesson here.
They're still down there because I haven't.
If
got
they are
hooked.
tail grabbing, try just using a head.
Might have flooded it. I forgot we're dealing with 90.
basically
Right. 91 cubic inches.
Oh, it's got random structure all over the place.
Huh. Strange. Strange. Discovered the throttle was hanging. It was like wide open. So I think the air fuel ratio was off.
So let that hang out for now. I let them take it a ways too.
But
That's
it's
the
like-
crazy part.
these things also idle at 5,500 RPM. So
Is that normal? Up here? Okay. This, I think I see the problem. It's that thing. Yeah. Okay, so this
This is Ron's new shanty.
junk. I've now officially bent all of the levers on it, trying to get it to do something on the side. Not very good for a 700-mile journey. So, we're going to take the Weber in a box over there with the adapter Rooney plate and try to adapt the 2-barrel Weber to this 91 cubic inch Honda. Is that what we're doing?
do you want to be in a shop, like an air-conditioned shop?
That seems weird. Maybe.
There's still one on the bottom there.
Yeah.
He's just lurking.
We might go into the shop. We'll see.
Probably the same one I've been feeding. And you know what it'll be? It'll be one of them little dinks.
Shop for me, but I'm enjoying
Oh,
this.
here he comes.
It's like breeze. Sun's starting to go down over yonder. I think we'll keep working on it here as late as we can. They got a lot going on there. This is me and my hand. Okay, we got this Weber. Freddie bought this a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago when we got the car. And it's got this kit, 99000463.
At workday, he can hook up this shanty to a vehicle and drive it down the road.
Yeah.
Kit Civic CRX.
That I can.
MURLRC. And I guess that will take a standard Weber. We all know Webers. Right here. If that is going to adapt, I guess that would sit. I guess it doesn't really matter how well for throttle it does. We gotta figure that out. Oh. Yeah, that's backwards. That's a whole ball of wax we gotta start thinking about. Yep, because that pulls the other way. Well, I'm going to take a look at this. Maybe there's constructions. See if we can use this rubber. Allegedly it's for this, but you might have to come up with your own throttle stuff. Either way, we need a carbontator for this quickly. If this is going to work properly. So, if you open up this box, maybe there's a picture of how you can, I'll never see that 10mm again, and how we can run the throttle linkage. If this is a kit, someone's had to have done it, right? Maybe when the sun starts.
Oh, Core Engineering has some of their big ones out there, 150 grand.
Jump in the shop, get some lights going on this. We still have fuel system, brakes, clutch. Haven't even looked at electrical lights, tail lights. Oh boy, stuff flying everywhere. Updates. Found some scrap metal. Found a cable end, like a universal cable end that would accept a ball adapter for carb linkage, and I know that O'Reilly has a Edelbroken package on the speed wall that has miscellaneous ball studs, so we can probably figure out how to make this work. So let's just start tearing and get this thing on.
They're lurking down there. Come on. There you go. Come on. Get you some of that.
Okay, well, I think that's how it's supposed to go. More, probably less. But anyway, fuel making happeners off. That box thing is out. There were a lot of wires hooked into it. I don't know what this one does, but if you bend them weird, the electric fan turns on. And I took the cover off.
I need to get my other
That was a mistake. So I'm looking
tablet
there.
rolling here so I can watch
Okay.
chat better.
But we're down to what looks like an intake finally. I have never removed this many hoses and pipes. Well, I say removed. I just cut everything, pulled on it.
No, I dragged it today. It actually drags pretty decent.
This thing, whatever that does, I don't know. Basically all of this. Simple. Easy. Fuel mileage. Okay.
Another on that one.
And then I learned that coolant runs through not only the intake, but the base of the fuel making happener. I took one of these out because now we got 54,000 things to plug up. We don't need vacuum leaks.
Did you move again?
And then ectoplasm.
Just a little bit forward.
So,
Just so I'm in a couple feet deeper water because I was catching all the fish out of that hole this morning. So now that hole
light plugs.
back there is right in front of where that one was. And so far it seems to be a good move because now I'm in 33 feet of water where I was.
Billy says seems like a more consistent bite today.
6 dozen.
We'll see. They turn on and off real quick
Vacuum
around
leaks,
here.
coolant leaks, unknown things. I gotta make some notes, stuff that I cut off. I mean, you know, wow, this really is light. I can literally lift the car with my knee. Huh. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Is let's get some of this plugged up, taken care of first, and then we'll start building it back after that. Guys, back, got some 3/8 NPT pipe plugs. Hope that's the right get up. Had to get 2 brass, and then I got 2 in the Edelbroken pipe plug kit. So I'm going to pull all these out quick, Teflon them, plug them, and then we'll move on to vacuum caps and stuff like that. Just trying to do all this stuff while we don't have anything in the way. Okay, I got those 4 plugged off, and it looks so much cleaner, and that's really the main reason that I've done it. 3.5 of you, one of you is about ready to fall asleep, have caught on that these are just temperature switches, essentially, and they don't really need to be changed out. They're already a plug. Well, I'll show you. Look at this mess that we took out of here, though, and how much cleaner it looks. So this is already a plug. It's basically a normally closed switch. And when this reaches X temperature, this would open and allow a vacuum.
O'Hays says, how cozy is it in there?
69 degrees.
Cold versus hot engine, whatever else. That's the
I'm on
exhaust
setting
gas
number 2
generation
on the heater.
system, right? So it obviously worked. This engine got really good fuel mileage, and I kind of do feel bad tearing it into it like this, but you know, is it really rare? Not really so. Is it cool? Yeah. We're gonna get a little bit more pep out of her? Guaranteed. Now we're moving on to vacuum. I've got to plug this guy and this guy at minimum, and then we're gonna have to do some testing down the road. I also need to plug this guy in the back, which is flowing some coolant. I'm just gonna use a cap and a hose clamp on that particular unit. And then we should be ready to start assembling the fuel make it happener back on this, and look how much cleaner that looks without this stuff. My goodness, and a mile of hose that I've
Why is your shirt still on?
parts laying everywhere I got to pick up. Just kind of pitching them
Why is my what still on?
So here's our adapter, and this is a hardware. So we got 4 studs and 4 screws. Based on how those are set, they're not tapered though, but these nuts aren't going to like sitting down in there. So really, these should have a conical on them, but they don't. That's what's going to go in there. And then the studs will go through here, which is threaded, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3 gaskets that need to go on there, and then we'll drop that Weber right on top. All right, let's assemble this thing. First,
Yeah.
Barrican says, cause you haven't paid money. OG says, because OU haven't donated the required amount.
You're welcome. There you go.
They're all over on the bottom. That's all fish right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
I got one in the bucket over there.
Do you?
15.
Oh, okay.
See, Matt got one over there. Did you get it?
I am going to be
Did you get it?
Red Locker.
Oh, so you caught it. He just sent me a picture. Okay.
Well, no, he got one before we got here.
He's back now.
And then
Damn
I
it,
got one,
woman.
And then Jackson just caught one.
Put some glue on her.
Mackenzie's boyfriend.
Oh, you brought them out?
Yeah, with Colt.
Nice.
I
You
know.
got the grandbaby out.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's get him broke in early.
Did you see what's in here? Did you
I
see?
also need to figure out what
See?
Really?
That isn't that shit you were eating before.
Bags of chips.
No, that chicken thing.
Oh God, yeah. No, I had another one in the freezer. I threw it away. So, oh, thank you so very much. What?
Oh, I didn't know you were streaming. Sorry.
Oh, that's why I told he asked me if I wanted. I said, well, I just started streaming, so I didn't walk over there.
Oh.
So
I
jealous.
literally just turned everything on before he sent the message, and I was like,
Oh, funny. No, you're fine. Enjoy.
thank you.
You're welcome. See you.
Barrican
You are the
asks,
greatest.
where's my sandwich lady?
like import hot rod shop, as you can just hear.
Yeah, ever since I put that little minnow on, they don't want nothing to do with that.
Glass cut off. But anyway, there's a really cool import shop nearby. We probably got all the stuff.
I don't want y'all to get jealous, but there's roast beef here, corn, mashed potatoes. Oh man.
Did clean out the intake as best I could with brake clean and some rags. There's some heavy sludge in there. He's sitting on his ears.
Hi, Jake.
But we'll run bearing through this thing. If we get it going on the road, we're going to run heavy bearing all the way back home. Try to clean the intake, the valves, all studs in.
OG says TV dinner.
Yeah, watching TV, eating dinner.
Okay, drop a gasket on. The other two, so we don't have to fight it back and forth. Another float plane. Single engine. Cessna. Okay. So hot rod pulls
Thanks for the $20 dono.
something. Right. Now we have a spacer doodabber. I don't know why, but it must be important. One more gasket. Now we can go get that. Fuel make it happener. Oh, drop that right on. All right, the old Weber. Is this thing in good shape?
I gotta look. Somebody just sent me a $20 dono.
Should be. Oh,
Without doxing it here on old interwebs.
okay, now we got spring washers.
Billy!
Billy says get some minnows and snacks for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And the front.
I got minnows today, but I will use it to get
Here's
gas.
the cable.
Because we're gonna need generator gas.
And this
Because I got propane already.
So,
Oh, this stuff is Maggie just is way too good to me.
Universal DG.
This is amazing. Roast beef, corn, mashed taters.
Made modification. But I think that bolts on here. It does. If we could bring
Big Daddy Yells Jake Hesden 12 is rating us with 1 viewers. This is the 5-time Jake Hesden 12 has rated us.
Okay, things are going good. Oh, snap that off. Okay. Let's think about what we've done here.
Man,
Where's the process?
blessed by the best, man.
Okay, that's back.
Home cooked meal on the lake.
Can this go down here is what I'm saying. And then come this way. Because now we need to pull the throttle blades this way. See? That's how the Weber works. The volcano roll, fuel make it happener. You know, the soy sauce came in this man. Now, over here.
Maggie Olson 6 says you're welcome.
You are the greatest.
That way. But we're gonna build that canoe and paddle.
This is amazing.
So let's just run some hardware on quick.
This is normally junk food season for me.
Situate it on here.
I don't never eat this good ice fishing.
First, the throttle cable, and then let the rest kind of fall into place.
OG says Maggie. Number 1. Maggie Olson 6 says I know I am.
This way behind here. I actually don't need to modify it. I got all this stuff out of the way. This slides on and goes over here. Go this way. But this is not going to work for us. We have this style lever now. And this, this is going to be way back here. Something like that. I got to cut this off and put a different end on it and figure out a connection to that carburetor to pull it back this way. Did get a kit as well. You got this one, which is like it'll have a C shape slide over this with the washers and then the pin will go through, or we could do a ball stud. And we can use, unfortunately I had to buy a whole throttle kit to figure it out. Let's see, we have, this is the style I was talking about, but we can also use this style right here as long as the cable will fit in that. That is the big question. I gotta cut this open. Waste of money. If not, I guess I can give it to Freddie, but let's see what we got going on. Okay, I got the throttle cable disassembled and got this threaded on, which was not the easiest task. As you guys know, when you cut cables, they do this. Ha ha! Nonetheless, it's on. Brackets loosely in place, put a nut on over here, just kind of hold it. This is roughly how I'm thinking the throttle is going to go. I should go under that, whatever that is. Let me make that change. And then I'm going to go in the car and actually press on the gas pedal and pull it back and forth, just make sure it's not binding anywhere, that we got nice loops. Then I have to thread the end of this on, because this isn't the actual piece. And we're going to have to cut the cable wherever I can
Damn,
get the
it's
best
good food.
bite on this, which is probably going to be like that one right there. And make sure that we get full wide open throttle and it releases back to idle. Okay, we got some sort of MacGyvered return spring on here. Throttle cable turned out pretty nice actually. I may have to adjust this when I left that nut loose. We want to make sure we get wide open, but we have adjustment here and we have adjustment here now. Just modification to this lever, this thing here, and this pin. Not going to hook the choke up at the moment. Got the fuel line cut and put back on. Switched the inlet from back here to forward so this wasn't doing an awkward loop. It's going to look better. Got her jammed down into our gasoline again. We're going to crank on this again tonight, right before dark, and see if this thing is going to run with the Weber or if we're going to have to fiddle with it more tomorrow. Let's find out. Okay. Will the Weber work on a Civic?
Eat your heart out, everybody.
About to find out. Might have to crank for a while.
Roast beast, mashed taters and corn,
Safe word.
home fresh made, no microwave involved, no pizza pizzazz involved.
I got no power.
Right here on the lake, middle of frozen lake, frozen tundra.
I mean, they're tight.
Oh no.
Did the battery drain?
Wonder if it has something to do with this. If I plug this in, then what happens?
Was it a relay box?
Big Daddy Yells Weather Cop just cheered 65 bits.
Yeah, she's dead.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't know.
OG says maybe it's just a replayed Hungry Man dinner.
No.
I mean, it's a little warm.
No, not from Miss Maggie, I promise you that.
Guy might have done her. Cables.
She probably started that roast this morning.
I was slightly worried about that. Oh, the battery's dead. Yeah, just a bad dad battery? That doesn't make sense. Listen, it's been kind of a long day. I got the plane
Oh,
today,
that was like sex without the
and we're
sweat.
working on a Honda
We need a
Civics.
dip after that one.
We're trying to Weberize it. You know? Beautifully. We need a jump box. Okay. Jump pack engaged.
Oh, right on.
Oh, I heard something click.
Can I get a shout out for Kronenberg, please? Welcome to my humble abode. I'm in the middle of a frozen lake in our local area.
Nothing in here though.
And nothing?
No. I think I really did a number. There.
Try it.
Fuse?
Big Daddy Yells Og Burnout just cheered 85 bits.
There we go. Hey,
No way.
look at that. Look
Okay, I
at
just had to
that.
make sure I was following you.
That is a running Honda, my friend.
The dome light works. The tail lights are on.
Back from the dead.
That should work.
That is great.
Awesome.
It sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
Kona, there's one there, there's one here, and there's one over there. I'm allowed to fish two of them, so I'm fishing the one right in front of me right here. And then I've got another one over there with a rattle reel down. And what'll happen is when the fish takes it, this rattle reel light up
Do the lights work?
and it'll jingle.
I don't know how to turn them
Should be
on.
on the stock.
There we go. Lights work. Do we have high beams? Yeah, right. Yeah,
OG asks Bod not on.
high beams?
It should be, because it works right with the chat bot.
Well, we'll see you later.
All right, see ya.
Oh wait, we need brakes.
Yeah.
Let me look.
That sounds great. Oh. Maybe we'll let her
Yeah.
There we go.
around a little bit.
Maybe we do an oil change. Seems a little bit choppy.
Big Daddy Bells in Real Life is rating us with 31 viewers. This is the 6th time in Real Life has rated us.
Oh wait, I was gonna try the
Thank
AC.
you for the raid.
Try the AC.
Raiders,
That's a
welcome.
long shot. Also,
We're
what's
doing
it,
fishing.
idling at right now?
It says like 800.
If you turn on the AC and it actually does
I've got,
anything, it's gonna be like, it's gonna go down to nothing.
Matt and Maggie right over here. I got Zach. Jesse's right between Matt and Maggie and I, and then Fish House Nate's over on the other side.
Let's recirculate. Heat, high, low. Is this
Loki Fishing yells hide yo kids. Hide yo wife.
It's blowing stuff. I don't
That
really
one's good
press it
enough.
like that.
Nope.
Oh, it smells like
It's
fire.
easier to keep track of chat on this.
We have fire?
I don't think so.
Smell that? Is there smoke rolling out of here? Or am I just... No, nothing's on fire. Okay, well, I'm going to turn that off. That's not a very pleasant smell.
I mean, it would probably be a good idea not to be like on what is kindling.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's probably getting warm.
Yeah.
Should we see if it restarts now?
Yeah.
Okay, lights off. Off.
On the button.
Brand new car.
Ha! Matt and Maggie got me up on the TV over there.
We're too victorious to continue.
And the windows go up. Look at that.
I'm starting to get things organized the way they used to be. I don't really need a microphone in here.
Oh, that's why.
How y'all doing, Ron?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
The battery's going dead. Is it
Did we get a shout out for Loki Fishing?
Oh, is the brake
Because the
brake
switch
going down?
is, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can yank it up.
Yeah.
Dip is in. Monster is open. There are fish on the bottom.
Oh, it's probably a pressure switch.
Maybe or just I mean.
They're just laying there, so I'm hoping it's the big mammoth Jim, a wall mounter I
Oh,
need.
this is junk, yeah.
It could just be broken.
Thank you, bro.
That's
Absolutely.
not bad at all. Well, we should.
Thank you for tuning in on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
let's,
If you are an IRL live streamer,
At this point.
yeah.
or your live streamer period, I don't care what platform you're on. If you are on YouTube, Facepalm, Snatch Chats, Instagrams, TikToks, whatever, go on my Discord to the self-promotion section. Start putting your stream in there when you're going live, so that way when I'm not live, people got something to go check out. And oftentimes that's where I go to go find another stream to go hang out in.
Call it for tonight. Push this thing in right now, and tomorrow we'll start bright and early in the shop. We've heard it run. It sounds pretty good. Needs some tuning. We got to figure out the clutch still, brakes, maybe even an actual fuel system. We got to get tires on this thing.
I don't have high expectancy for these lights.
7
Like, it was 200 feet of LED lights.
Well, good morning. Back on the 1986 Honda Civic CRX HF. Highfalutin. As you can see, we pushed it in the shop late last night. I did fiddle around with it a little bit, but didn't really get much accomplished, to be honest.
But
we still have a tremendous amount
Bingo.
of work to do on this car.
Red,
We did here at Rochester.
green,
It sounds pretty
blue.
good, actually, but we still don't know how the clutch is doing. We know for a fact we have zero brakes. We've
This
got
is
to do
supposed to
something
be
with
orange,
our
but it looks like an
system.
off green.
There's a lot to do today, but did accomplish the most important thing already this morning, which was following through with the donation as a payment for this vehicle. Convoy of Hope. They've been around for a long time. They do a lot of great things. I sent a $3,500 donation over to those folks on behalf of Freddie for this here vehicle. And now we can get to work on it. We officially own it. So, where we're going to start today, I think what we're going to do is, I'd like to get the lift up, inspect the car a little bit, get the front tires off, throw some brake juice in this thing, and crack a bleeder, and see if we can start gravity bleeding the front. This wasn't in the shop for brakes, but it's kind of unusual. Brake fluid is gone. It doesn't disappear unless there was a lot of moisture or water in it, which maybe could be the case. And while that is sitting and soaking, we've got to address the fuel system. May potentially take the tank out of this thing. It could throw us back, who knows, half hour or half a day. But it would be nice to not have a gas jug in the back of this thing on our journey back. I don't know how to run this thing, but we're going to figure it out. This one's got air to it and all sorts of stuff.
Ah!
Lift this up a little bit.
That bag, you got the grandson over there breaking them in the right way. Get him ice fishing early.
Work. Bring the lift down, scooch. So I can get to the wheels. Feels kind of weird working betwixt millions of dollars and what is that thing over there? McLaren. This one over here is a Lamborghini, I think.
OG says meme checked.
There we go.
Oh, huh.
Underneath the rig.
Forgot about that. We got a little busy around here.
Actually. A little bit of surface rust, but there is like zero actual rust on this car. Very, very solid. Got a tiny little exhaust pipe. Get that on the rocker. Perfect. Thought maybe under this plastic stuff it'd be gone, but that looks great. Tiny, tiny little control arms. Look at this. Dainty little thing. Oh, there is a drain plug in the fuel tank, which helps us drain. Having a problem getting fuel out of it. I believe that's the filter up in there. So we got a line coming in right there and a line coming out.
Wet ones?
Test the line
I catch wet fish.
forward and see if that's the plug or if it's the filter itself.
Wet ones.
We'll filter to the tank, and then we'll determine whether or not we're going to drop that thing out of it. Is kind of the goal there. First, we've got to get these tiny little 13s off. And crack on the bleeder. It still has the rubber nubby do that.
My tablet is mad at me.
That's pretty wild. So does this one. Wow. And let's see if we can start working on brakes simultaneously. And this is directly behind me, the famous flooded P1. These guys find these incredible cars, tear them all apart.
Cold ones. He just wants to warm them up.
I mean, down to this.
Right now, it's kind of the target here is walleyes. This lake is multi-species, but where I'm sitting at, it's I haven't caught anything other than walleyes here, which I'm kind of happy with because beginning part of the season, I like to target walleyes more than anything else because during here February 28th they go out of season, then I'll start working towards catching panfish.
We do have a handbrake though, right? So, oh, they're so cute. Look.
Why is this thing not moving free going?
Hey, look, just like the Pantera, someone has mashed that nut on. See how there's that groove there? And mash it in. Interesting. Looks like probably the original shocks. Everything's tight. Okay, now
Should not take it that long. This thing's on a speed charger.
master
We'll see.
tray has this little basket. That's a really cool design, actually. It's got the screen and everything. This is full of mud. Pretty gross. So what I'm going to do is clean this up with brake cleaner first, and then we're going to put fresh dot 9.5 in there, whatever dot comes we have. And then I'm going to crack this bleeder right here and hope that we can start gravity bleeding it. If I'm getting fluid out of here, we'll let that drip for 20 minutes, close it, crack that one open, and it might got us some brakes. That's the hope anyway. Screen's all cleaned up. 14 gallons of this juice. Leaked out
Let
of
it
the
sit
floor.
for a while and see what happens.
Just can't really breathe in there.
Who knows? Maybe it finally gave it the ghost.
Scent-wise.
Next time I'll be getting a laptop
Okay.
for.
1.5
Now that I have
THC
Starlink.
fluid, and that is full.
Let's see here.
Right. I thought maybe we'd see a couple bubbles as it was filling the master cylinder. It's not doing that. So, what is this thing? Some
Oh.
M&M? Would it be a 10?
Yeah, they got tons of walleye around here. If you go across the street to the Legion over there, they've got even better walleye.
This is a 10. But do I have a ratchet? It's not a 10. It's also a 12. Well, what is going on here? Here we go. It is a 10. But now I need the... Okay, we got some juice in there. Shake it so you can see it maybe. There you go. And we got this bleeder cracked. Pan under it that I found. And we're gonna let that sit. Let's get back to work on the fuel system. As with everything on this car, tight fit. I think we're gonna go ahead and just try to take this whole tank down right away. Instead of procrastinating, let's just do it. See what's going on with the lines.
Move to the cities.
A little bit.
I've been trying to catch your streams, but
I think it's only got like 3 gallons of gas. Shouldn't be too heavy. Found this transmission jack thing. Just so I can
Chatson,
pull it down on it while I get the line off.
I'll check that out once my tablet decides it's going to let me in.
Fuel gauge did come around. I'd like to keep that. We don't want to ruin the wiring. Never see that again. Why is it not? Okay. No. Hey. You can come down. Oh, wow. Okay. We find a pry bar. This doesn't seem right.
We hope he is using IRL chat.
Oh, I'm using IRL chat as far as the TTS and all that stuff.
Doesn't make any sense. Plastic shield.
Yeah, I'm running IRL chat on the stream phone. That way, instead of having the TTS all the way over by me, yeah, I'm doing that.
What in the world? That's what I'm talking about. So that should be easy. It's gonna end up taking all day. But I mean, you'd think it would like try to budge.
But no speak chatbot?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's running on it. That's running. I'm running. Everything runs on IRL chat. The sound alerts, all that stuff.
Is this bolted to the car? fuel-injected models and the sedans.
Yeah, I'm running everything in the background on IRL chat.
Somewhere in the back hatch to the fuel tank, according to the manual. That's what I was looking at last night, but I didn't see anything unless I had to take that whole plastic tray thing out. So now let's lower the car down because I'm hearing plastic snapping. Monkey around up there now. Suppose I better start these. So we don't bend these all up. That's broken. Okay. What is this one then?
This should be going already. Let me try the other cord. Maybe I broke this cord. I'm pretty good at that. Should be.
Must wash.
I tend to wipe out cords at a very rapid rate.
Anyway, what I was saying, allegedly, there's an access port. We could reach what would have been the fuel on the fuel injector models, but potentially just the sending unit area on the carbureted model, which would allow us to pull that out potentially and clean it without dropping the whole tank. Would that be something? I don't know, let's try it. So that's that little pocket thing. By the way, there's more storage under this. 14 timing belts and another tire. But I'm wondering if we lift this thing out, would we have direct access to the tank? Because what else would be under that? So let's pull that up. And that's fine. It was only 40 minutes and struggling taking out 75 stripped Phillips head screws. Great.
Barrican says at Conabird it goes from his phone to an ingest server, which his OBS pulls the feed then pushes it to Twitch.
Yeah, that's my tech guy. He'd tell you all the particulars. I just push buttons. The buttons I'm allowed to push.
Undercarriage, and I got it out by popping one of these drain plugs on top and then sticking a pry bar through here, and that brought it down. Here's a vent, bunch of EGR stuff. There's the sending unit, and there's probably going to be our issue. So let me get this supported and try to get all of this unhooked. Just kind of struggling here. Trying to get these lines off. Balance this. Kind of funny, Honda's using the same clamps they use on like weed whackers, snowmobiles. Just a single spring clamp. Evap stuff, so we'll just cut that. We don't need that where we're going. Okay, that's cut. There we go. Alright. One tank.
Come on.
There's way more than 2 gallons. Way more. Okay, go. So here's our tank here. Looks like QVC. For 59 payments of $109.99, you can own this CRX tank. Sorry about that. Anyway, some sort of evap solenoid. Not going to worry about it. It's venting, essentially. This is what we're going to need to take out. It is the original tank, still has the stampings. Here is the sending unit for the fuel level, which I believe still works. I need to clean this up before I pull that out. I might just haul this out to the lot because we could pop that out and just recycle it. What's that? So this is the guy that usually plugs up. It sits in the fuel submerged, and as the fuel gets old and varnished, it plugs that tube up. We've seen that, I don't know, a couple hundred times. Trying to get this Florida sand out of the way here so that when I open this up, I'm not just dumping a bunch of it in there. So it's a lot of
At Conabird Shore, you can find me in Ron's Discord.
Try to get that area sanitized for surgery. So here's our first look. We indeed have, oh wow, half a tank at least. And this is very rusty. Don't know if I'm going to be able to save the
Tablet,
sock.
why are we having problems?
See what's going on inside of this. And there is our issue. The sock just crumbled in my hands. Plug solid. So, brake clean, welder wire. We'll get after this thing, try to get this cleaned up. Wire brush. Get it back in the tank. Been making some progress on this. I got it fairly clean. The problem I'm having is there's a bunch of holes all the way through this pickup tube. So it's not actually even pulling from the bottom anymore. So I think I'm going to have to cut this and figure out something else to get this to pick up fuel properly out of the tank. I doubt I'm going to get one of these anywhere in time. Alright, called around all over the place, cannot locate one of these. Of course, I can get one in like 5 days, but that's not going to help us now. I've hacked it off. I've got a plan, don't know if it's going to work or not. With all the holes and everything in this, that is pretty much junk. I went and got a stick for like brakes, similar in size. This is a 1/4 inch by 30 inch or 6.4 millimeter. And I'm going to bend up essentially what used to be here, try to flare this, slide them together, and weld this with a torch and solder. Don't know if it's going to work, worth a shot. If it doesn't, I'll just cut it again, and we'll go with the rubber for now. Just need something to get us home. But I'm going to bend this first. We need this
There we
shape
go.
here, plus another, maybe about
I
that.
might know a couple of
sock that's
tricks,
we want to make
too.
sure we're hitting the bottom of the
Been a
tank.
Samsung guy for a lot of years,
Finish
so
cleaning this up, and we'll see if we can weld it together. Guys got a little mess we got to clean up here, but that is successfully brazed on there, and it is solid. I tried to twist it around, and I blew air through one end, plugged it to see if it would leak.
ever since I put that little minnow on, they don't too much care for it. I think we're going to switch to a bigger minnow again.
Return, we'll just let that dribble in the top. Now we can go drop this back in the tank. We should be able to pick fuel up from the bottom. Might have to adjust this tail. It's not the most perfect bend, but it'll work. Well, putting the tank back together, I did get this flushed out pretty decent. I didn't show that process because it's a proprietary recycling system here in Florida. Got the new sending unit, or rebuilt pickup tube, I guess, not sending unit back in, installed. That seems like it's going to work. So now we can haul this back in and get her up to the CR and the X's. Well, we're up under the rig here. We got fuel filter change-a-roonies going on. Took out this old thing, which was probably restrictive and full of junk. Put that over there. We threw in a 32003, of course. Got that in line, and I think we're going to be ready for the.
Yeah, I went to a place earlier this week and got fathead minnows, and
got to run it drops. And
they were dying constantly. They made my water dirty. I was like, I gotta go talk to them. I haven't had a chance. Let them know that wherever they're getting their minnows from, they're not cycling them. They're not going through the cleaning process. It's like they're literally just bringing them to them.
Billy says fresh mini eye time.
On a fuel tank, which would be great. Normally I say we need to capacitize, but let's be honest, I'd only have to fill a gas jug 3 times to get home. So that's really not the case in this one. But it'd be nice to have it up here and be done right. Did I just say that?
trust me and use your imagination right now. I got the fuel line hooked up. I've got the return hooked up. I've got to figure out how to.
Oh, yeah, like I said, as soon as I stuck that big old minnow on there, they're right on it again.
Trailing arm. Now I've got to somehow hold this with my forearm. I still
Come
got
on.
the filler neck. Which
He's
I
on
should
it.
WD-40. I didn't. Oh man.
I'm gonna cut that bobber down.
Tightly put together on this car. It's like people that built it had small hands or something. It's weird.
He's got it.
Because it's hanging on its own.
I'm gonna be smart and wait this time.
I'm gonna start straps first. Woo.
It's up right now, so that's not a factor.
Piece of cake. Well, that is ate the breakfast I didn't have. Okay? Set. Speaking of breakfast, what am I going to have for break? You know, lunch and dinner. Mixed together. Or, should I just say that?
You just got it by the
Breakfast.
tail.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Alright, now we got this supported. Realize everything I forgot. Like the wiring for the sending unit. Can I still reach that? It's down in this rolling thing. Get there. Okay, we got that. Looks good. Fuel filter tucked up in there.
He's just swimming around with it. I'm gonna let him.
Boy, can't wait to pull this down again and put the right pickup in. Fun times. Okay. Woo! Victory lap. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let's tighten those clamps up. I gotta get fuel, I suppose. Job complete. This here is the evap. We're not going there. That's all clamped back up. We've got an easier filter to replace. It's very common. The straps are in. Everything's back the way it should be. Good to go. Now I can lower this down, reassemble the rear hatch again, get all that put back the way that it should be.
Now I can actually
Clean up
see the
that
chat.
mess. Then we can go get some gasoline, try to fire this thing up again today. Want some fresher fuel.
Maybe I can spin it around this way so the cord's not sitting at the bottom. Nope.
Well, had to go ahead and break the master
There it went.
cylinder array off. It is not pumping any fluid. It felt like the pedal was swinging and coming back, but I believe this is actually stuck. So I'm going to pull a hog ring off of this, try to pull this thing apart essentially, and see if we can inspect it, clean it, and get this thing operating and building pressure. I have called everywhere for one of these, and no one has one. Boy, this was a fight, and a delicate one, if that makes any sense, because if I damaged this, I would be in trouble. It took a long time, but I got all the hog rings, the seals, the pieces out. The piston was actually stuck in the bore in here, and I just now got it out a minute ago. I used the needle nose pliers, smashed those in place, heated it,
You must have left
and then
it.
used a hammer to pound it up. And I hope that I didn't ruin this seal with heat. And we might be okay. Now I gotta see if I can borrow some emery cloth. We gotta clean up this piston, and we've got to take any scoring out of this bore, clean that up as well. Check for any rips in our seals, and then completely assemble this once again, and hopefully we can build hydraulic pressure. I had to take a trip to the parts store. Got a few things here I think we're going to need to try to pull this off. Did not find any more of these rubber seals, unfortunately. We're just going to have to hope that they work. But we have two things that we need to correct, which is this piston. There's some scoring and witness marks on it. We got to clean that up. I'm going to be using this Emery cloth 320 grit. Sure, that's what we got. Okay, moving on. We got the bore of this bad boy, which is also going to have a score in it. And I make this tool specifically for that. So there's different sizes. Just pay attention to the size. This is going to go in here. Going to use a little bit of lubricant. And we're not trying to change or modify anything. We're just trying to clean. So if I run my finger in here, I can feel that it's got some burrs.
It looks like you just
This
hit it and quit it.
We'll just go through here and clean it up, just like honing a.
I'm going to trim that bobber down though.
But we don't want to make it bigger, because then we're going to lose the seal with this, which is our primary piston seal.
No, he's still there.
So
He's just
we're
staring
going to
at
get
it.
all this done quickly. When I'm done, hopefully fully assembled, we'll be able to take a screwdriver, push in, and the spring will push the piston back. We'll be able to fully assemble it with the reservoir cup, bend some lines up, bench bleed this, we'll be able to put it back on the car and bleed the brakes on the car. And then we have to hope that the calipers are good and everything else. Great. So setting this up is pretty straightforward. It's all the way loose right now. You can see it fits easily in here. But if I were to turn this here, it will open this up. See? So I'm going to drop this in, open it up until we feel pressure, hook this to a drill, get to clean.
There's like one walleye down there just guarding my minnow now.
Be enough. Hard to see, but we've got a nice clean
another one
cross
underneath.
section there. Some of the remaining color is there. Because again, we're not trying to make this bigger, so I'm not going to go till it's all new. The point of doing this is done, which there's no more burrs or anything in there that's sticking to my fingers. So that is a nice smooth surface. Get to put this thing together. Just got to clean this up. Well, we have success.
Loki Fishing yells at Jburner69U.
There we go. Well, we're going to throw the kind of, sort of, semi-ish rebuilt master cylinder that now seems to master
Come on,
cylinder
fish.
back on the rig, and then we will start the gravity bleeding process.
I got stage fright watching you guys, like trying to take you away.
Fuel on the last trip. Grab some gasoline. We're close to firing this thing up and trying the brakes here shortly. I'm racing Freddy right now. He one started before the set. He just had it a while. I think he's ahead of me. He is young, my friend. So a guy did.
Billy says, "Don't bring us into this."
Although it was pumping fluid on the bench when we bench lit it, I did not verify both ports were moving fluid. It turns out that one is the master cylinder is in fact bad. We kind of knew that from the get-go. The other issue that we're having here is the distribution block.
Oh, I blame it you,
reacting to
Billy.
The master cylinder only
You.
pushing fluid on one port. So this crazy alien.
And I used to catch fish, and then you showed up.
Is or should be. Just
That's what I'm
basic
going with.
distribution
Billy's
port.
fault.
But there's a valve in here and also some vacuum hooked to this. And I think what is happening, since it's getting pressure in on only one, the shuttle is moving just like
Now they're staring at the damn sinker.
to lock fluid into a set position so you don't completely
They are
lose the brakes.
special.
That being said, how this is set up is you have one in and two outs, which is one front and one rear. Currently, we only have left front and left rear, which really is kind of very unsafe because it would make the vehicle pull apart in one direction. What I'm going to do is bypass this completely, put in a bunch of crazy lines in here into a T-fitting, and basically force this master cylinder to only run the front brakes. Allegedly. That's what
Loki
we do.
Fishing says stage fright. Work makes me pee in a cup with a dude watching. I get it.
I need a T, a basic T, I can put all these together. So now I need to convert these from M10-1 to M10-1 to 3/16 line back to 3/8 24 fitting into a 3/8 24T to put all this together. So it's going to look like this, but we should be able to move fluid from there to right there for front brakes. So give me a minute. I'm going to try to cobble this together.
Disco.
So we could not
Billy says, oh hell no.
which is what started the whole diagnostic thing. Freddie's pumping for me, and watch this. Boom. Getting some pudding. Okay, again, please.
Loki Fishing says other fishermen may be concerned.
Up here. Hey, we have front brakes, kind of ish. They're not quite Freddie approved. They're in the middle-ish. Jack said it was great. Yeah, so I'm going with that. Look, just don't judge me. You know, if it works, it's not a dumb idea, is what I'm saying. It's necessary to get us home, and don't worry, because we'll come back to this at some point and not fix any of that, okay? Now I'm going to move on to tires. Let's get some tires put on these bad boys. I had some sent up here. Get those thrown back on. Put in a battery that's been in boil overnight, probably empty on acid at this point, so we'll throw some water in that. And then we'll fire this thing up, pretend we tuned it, put an air cleaner on it, and I think we're about ready to go. Also not changing the oil because it's got a Honda filter in it. I think that's probably approved, and from what I tasted, it was pretty fresh. So I just got to start cleaning and get the mountain tires. Let's check on this. Where I'm at. I don't even know how to run this thing.
Right now, I'm probably on about 20 inches to 22 inches, somewhere in there.
Last night, the taillights were stuck on the CRX, so it drained this little guy.
I've got a 6,100 pound SUV out here.
So the old ones were 175, 70, 13. I think I got the same size. These are weather forces. Look how rock they are. These were not going to get far. So we'll replace these with some new rubber. Well, the guy's got fresh tires all the way around. Ooh, she's looking good. Probably not going to stop though. Hey, listen. We ran it for a second, so I wanted to see what the vacuum, the brake booster was going to do with our pedal situation, because it wasn't grabbing until about 20%. We're using the rear outlet basically, which in this particular bore setup doesn't engage until the end of the throw. And with
Tire mounting machines have come so far.
hustling and flying through all of this, the last little thing here is I want to get this outside and test it while we have some daylight left and see if this is even going to be drivable. Because I don't know, guys, kind of have my doubts with this one. It's pretty sketchy. I'm saying that, and you know, it's.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on and get. Apparently, it is set on the remote because I'm good at that. Where we're or I don't know where it is. I seem to have lost it. Before we get too rammy here, let's do this. We have priors. Well, the fact that the average guy in his garage now can afford to have a tire mounting machine of some sort is, you know, something to be said for that. There it is. Damn, I've been wanting to watch that. When I was growing up, man, if you were an import guy, the Honda CR-V or CRX was the car to have. And I've really been intimidated by them because of the fact that they've been, you know, well, one, there's no replacement for displacement when it comes to cars. Everybody knows that. So,
Sling. I'm flying through all this.
Those CRX drag cars are no joke.
Get this outside and test it.
the all-wheel drive Honda Civics, when they came out with those,
See if this is even going to be drivable.
those were the cars. Those are some of the fastest imports out there.
This one, it's pretty sketchy. If I'm saying that, then you know it's pretty sketchy. Clamping on the Weber. Then I'll fire it up for you guys. Start right up. Which means it's pulling fuel from the tank. And the pickup that I made welded this morning is working. Still have brake lights stuck on. Haven't even looked under the dash. I'm sure the switch is just boogered up. But fire this hot rod up for you. Neutral check. And firing. Look at that. Wow. We got headlights, but these brake lights are stuck. Well, I think the next thing we got to do is just drive this outside, up and down the lot here. Throw some coolant.
I had a pro-tuned Subaru WRX on E85 running 11s. Launching with a WD was awesome.
I've had all-wheel drive imports before, but where the technology was at back then, it wasn't really good for drag racing because you'd actually lose time by running it.
Used to just running, North America stuff.
But then they came out with that all-wheel drive Honda Civic,
Lost some coolant.
where if you tuned it, you got the standalone system for it. You could actually shut
It's not good. It's running.
the rear part off, and you could do burnouts of the front end, and then you bring it back, you back up, and you lock it into all-wheel drive again.
50 million years ago. This looked like it had just been changed. 16 years. Is it gonna hurt? Okay.
Yeah, after launch, I got chased down by Big Power.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I liked imports. I've had a couple of them. I've had a Nissan Maxima that was all decked out. Actually, when Mercedes owned Chrysler,
I wish
the Dodge Stratuses, the Stratus came out with intercooled
brakes. It's all custom order.
intercooled
I just
injection
Civic? Everybody's gonna have that stuff.
V6. I ran that for a while. What else have I had?
Couple things
The
we gotta
Nissan,
check.
I had the 300Z,
And it smells like it's gonna.
and that's what got me into my Nissan Maxima, because the 300Z and the Maxima had the same car.
But
and people would mess with the 300Z because that car was pretty quick. You know, as far as rolling races, a quarter mile would get its ass handed to it every time.
I went into gear first.
But I remember the CRXs and the Del Sols, everybody wanted them because the
Okay.
building the motors in them, you know, you could, engine shops, good engine shops for imports would cut you a complete billet block and you could build them cheap.
Get this thing outside.
And like the older carbureted ones, I mean, you could set them up to run 4 barrels, put headers on them, and getting all custom cut parts for it was actually not that bad.
Clutch is working. First time moving under its power. Over a decade, easy. Okay, brake check. Oh, it's got brakes. Come on. I mean, they're all the way to the floor.
I had a 350Z and ran a 100 nose shot. It was fun.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me because I've been into V8s my whole life, and imports just felt really, really slow.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you could get them.
Let's take a look
You
at
could
that.
get them to go fairly quick,
Fire
but the thing is
well,
like
I kind of do, let's be honest.
my Firebird was a AFX block, a 69 AFX block, high nickel, 4-bolt main, and it was turned into a 383 stroker, and that ran a 200 shot of nitrous, and there wasn't an import out there that was touching it. The SRT4 Neons were actually pretty vicious machines if they were done right, but the problem is guys, there just wasn't guys who could shift them fast
A
enough.
little bit longer. I don't know how
They'd be on the rev limiter
obviously
constantly.
it's a relay, but I'm not sure if it's on a temperature switch. It's got to be, right? But we removed a lot of temp switches. You know what I'm saying? So, but I have a guy in here that might help me. He's wired in a RC controller to a McLaren. And you trigger forward, that's how you start it.
Dark
and then
Angel,
trigger
thank you.
back, rev it up.
That Nissan 3.5 V6 took 100 like a champ. My shop wanted me to run 200, but it was my daily.
The reason I bring that up. Alright, a guy pulled a
Yeah, 572 in a Malibu would be quick as shit. An 80s Malibu,
He's working on that
full frame car, 2-door.
P1 over
They
there.
weren't that heavy. The G-body Malibus weren't that heavy, but
NASA engineering and
boy, they would haul.
figured out
I was scared.
while he's doing that, I'm going to try to contort myself underneath to figure out this brake switch because we got brakes stuck on. And he's going to probably like a relay or something. You're thinking?
Well, I'm gonna see if I can figure out the original Honda troubleshoot the original Honda system, and at worst case, we'll put a relay on it and trigger it when you turn on the ignition. It'll turn on.
All right, so 12-volt relay kit for the fan. That'll get us. Sweet. Well, thanks for the help, man. Here's, I don't know, this might be helpful. Yeah, that came with the car. It's pretty sweet.
Well, good morning. Sun's just coming up over the palm trees here in Florida. Bright and early.
Yeah,
Oh, the patch didn't close.
they didn't. I mean, you could do a 454 job,
Patch! Wow.
and those would.
Well,
What do they turn them into?
Obviously, this
486s.
it's named after some character in
But
Aladdin, I think. I have no idea.
You'd get a ton of power, but it was a lot of weight in the front of a car, and they didn't have the suspension setups like they have now.
And then,
You know, they had adjustable setups, but they weren't all that good. So when you started putting that much weight, like I've done a couple of big block race cars, and I just back then it was good, but it wasn't good unless you were going to really literally back half your car. Well, actually full frame your car at that time. The only thing that'd be original is whatever's underneath the driver's seat. And
There we go. Nice. We have windshield wipers. windshield. When it hit the road.
You know, and turbo technology back then wasn't that big. I mean, you could do the blowers. Guys did the blowers. The Vortex superchargers were becoming a thing, but they were extremely unreliable, and they didn't really make that much power for what you were paying for them back then. So it's like, I mean, almost everybody ran nitrous back then.
Fuel gauge doesn't work. This is the most I've driven it, other than back and forth. Got a weird noise to the right. Hope that's not like a rear wheel bearing. Clutch is not very clutchy, and there's not a lot left. And brakes, I said we got brakes. But what I meant by that was when you jam the pedal all the way to the tar pit as hard as you can, there's a little bit of front brake. And I can't get too overconfident here and forget the fact that we're running the front brakes on the back side of the master cylinder, that the other 50% is already bad. And that I rebuilt on a bench with limited parts. That could fail at any moment, but the handbrake does work just in case of an emergency. I am going to actually take more highway this time. I usually like to take back roads because I can travel at a slower speed, let the car come around, and if I break down on a back road, it's not as bad as an interstate. And we get to see the real America. All the small businesses and the great people and things like that are on back roads. But that involves a lot of heavy braking going through small towns, lots of stoplights, stop signs. This time I think we're going to jump right on the highway interstate and try to use the brakes as little as possible. Kind of a different strategy here. We'll see what happens. I ended up with 2 plates. I got one from 2003 or something, and one from 2014. I have no idea which one actually goes to this vehicle.
Never fails. I turn the stream on, I miss fish. Stream's not on, I don't miss any fish. I was actually rattle reel caught all the ones I caught today.
Third gear. Temperature slowly coming up. Moses sandals turning in the passing in the turn lane. I was doing the limit. You Floridians are crazy. Okay. Let's see what kind of MPGs we get with the Weber and absolutely no emission stuff versus the Japanese fuel making happener and 57,000 relays. This should be pretty interesting. Science.
Will, come on. Apparently they must have fed them all real well. Wind's still going pretty good.
Well, swinging in to get fuel here, we've got to be 200 miles, maybe more into the trip. Car is starting really good. Good enough. I wish I would have balanced the tires actually, because now you start noticing all the little things, like how sticky the steering wheel is. The tires being out of balance or shaking your teeth out. Radio works. Reached up here, pulled the antenna up. trip's going great so far. Brakes, not so good. But we're gonna try not to use those, okay? Need to figure out how many MPGs we're getting before we push this thing any farther. I also noticed up here on the windshield a date of, it's an oil change sticker, 2/22/07 with a due at 2/39/213, which the oil was fresh like I thought. It was just changed, and that correlates with the last fuel up in early 2008. So this guy changed the oil, filled it up, and sat. So this is the first time ripping down the highway in about 16 years. Staying cool, cooling fans hanging in there. I forgot to come up with a plan B on that. If that fan quits, I don't know. Also, why didn't I put the tire that was in the bottom trunk on the wheel in the back that has the bad tire on it, so we actually had a spare? Little things you think about on the road. Gonna fuel up, grab me a hot dog and something to wet the back deck, and keep on running.
All this seems to be looking fine. No major leaks or anything like that yet.
Well, the guy ran the calculator at the pump. We're getting 35.8 miles to the gallon. I'm really impressed with that, actually. We basically doubled the size of the fuel making happener, and I'm really pushing this thing to try to run 70 if I can, which is the speed limit. At 50 miles per gallon, I'm sure that was at 55 and on very flat ground. So really that 15 miles per gallon difference, not too worried about it. Did use a little bit of oil. I'm going to grab a quart in here as well. Well, this has been a fun stop. Met a handful of fans from all over the place. And I've had 2 people come up and say, what a cool CRX. Really digging this thing. I wanted to show you guys this quick. I was looking through this. There's a lot of the original paperwork with this car. This was purchased 7/31/86 with 20 miles on it. Right there at Blount Honda. And then there is miles of paperwork.
Billy asks Ron, you plan on doing some weekend camping this spring, summer?
Yeah, we gotta. I don't have a tent. We tried camping out in the Expedition. I don't sleep very well in the back of that because when the seats fold down, it's got like this arc that's up and it's got this lip underneath there. And
this is really cool.
So I'm gonna have to get a tent and a cot set up.
One of, if not the most documented Honda CRXs in the world. It's one of the most documented vehicles I have ever owned, ever. Quite honestly. There's so much I won't even fit in here now. There we go. Thought that was pretty cool. Hey, before I forget, I do want to say thank you to Freddie Tavarish. What an awesome guy. And thanks for all the help and hanging on to it for me, and storage and tools, and letting me work in the shop. Really cool guy. And they do some awesome stuff. They're incredible stuff. They find like supercars that were like flooded in rivers and fires and build them right there in the shop. So if you haven't, be sure to check that out. Okay, I gotta figure
OG says you should get a tent like. I did that last. URL's super easy and very spacious.
I don't know where I'm going. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating. I like the one that Knives used to have too. That teepee style tent, that center pole. I like that tent too because you could walk around in there. It was a very easy setup because you literally set one pole up in the center, and then you just stake the outside rings around. But then you also have provisions to run like a miniature wood stove or something like that in there for heat. I don't know. I haven't. The last tent I owned was a Walmart tent, and it took 2 people to set it up because it was big enough to put 2 queen-size beds in, or 2 king-size beds in, pretty easy. But that's when my wife and I were camping all the time, tent camping all the time, and that started, we had just a smaller cabin tent, but then we got these cots, and I want to get the cot first
Well, guys, fueling up again.
so I can measure it out.
Some really small
Because
town.
most tents are really wide on the bottom, but they narrow out as soon as they come off the floor. So, and that's what we found out with the last one.
Ours is doing really, really good, actually.
The odds of me ever getting my wife back into a tent again will be slim to never.
Yeah. Aren't it? But the more I look at this, I can't wait to see this thing cleaned up. But I think this paint, I look at my finger, I think we might be able to, underneath all that dirt, we might be able to bring this thing back around. Just polishing it up. Alright guys, all fueled up. Got some refreshments. I think the timing might be a little off on this car. It drags when it's warm. Listen. And start. There we go. Also, it must be charging. I forgot to check that. Oops. Well, technically we did just check it. Yeah, road tested charging system. Good to go. Okay. 4 miles down.
Because yours was just a throw tent, wasn't it, OG? Basically, you grab the corner, throw it out, and it's set up.
Pulling through another small town here. I need to get on my feet. I'm sitting all day.
Kinda. You had to extend poles. Matthew Olson 5 says, "Where the fish at man?"
I don't know, they were here and then they just disappeared.
This little mom and pop shop has a giant area sign in the window. So I'm gonna go in and get some steel toe cowboy boots, hopefully. They got my big hoof size. Car is running great. The more I drive this thing, the more it's coming around. It used to smoke on when you let off the throttle or decel, and that is starting to go away. So I think the rings are really coming around. Pour out oil. They got a John Wayne thing in the window. I gotta get in them. I could probably have cold snap with this guy.
It's 'cause you smell funny.
You guys going crazy with the skid loader. Holy shit. Guys going crazy with the skid loader.
Okay, let me look here.
Billy says English only, please.
Well, guys, stopping to fuel again. Stretch, gotta get some coffee. About 150, 200 miles-ish away from home. I think I'm gonna push it today, so I'm gonna get caffeinated up. Doing a light check. I got tail lights, side marker, headlights, just a minute. It's fall colors, it's beautiful. I wish I could hit the back roads, but we're trying to baby these brakes here. So we're going to stay on the main highways, cruise into the night. It's going to get cool finally. It's been pretty hot in the car without the AC, but just roll the window down and try to drive faster. This one, 60 at likes, anything above that, you're really mashing on it to go faster than that. So I don't want to beat on the thing, just kind of been cruising. Taking it easy, push it into the night, see if we can get home tonight.
Ooh. Jason's on his way out. You guys watch this bobber, make if it disappears, set the hook. Kid, do something, would you? Do something around here? Especially you, Billy. Fucking slacker. Billy's always slacking, dude. Always slacking.
Well, yesterday we made her home in the Honda CRX XX. I think for the first time ever we cannonballed all the way without stopping. There were no issues. I didn't have any breakdowns. I added oil and kicked a tire a couple times. That was really it. And we got phenomenal fuel mileage and looked like Bowser the whole way home. But I had a good time, honestly, and oddly enough, I did not expect this. Fueling up, people went nuts over this thing. I can't tell you how many people came up and I had one of these in high school. Where did you find this thing? These, you never see these anymore. And my eyes were opened up to a whole new world. I was asking questions, are these really that sought after? You really can't find them? There was a market for these? There is? And man, these are like, I guess they're the thing. Cats are shedding, winter's coming. So, you know what? What I'm trying to say is, I know, hope you're sitting down. I kind of get it. Okay? I'm a car guy through and through, and I'm willing to admit it doesn't need to be American made. This Honda is the cat's purr. Maybe not a meow yet, but we can get her there. And you will see this car again, but I don't know what to do with it quite yet, and that's where you come in. Tell me. We just keep it stock, original, clean it up, send this thing down the road.
Just gonna jump in the Yukon and go, and I got your buckets.
One thing I do need help with.
Sweet.
So,
These five doors.
get around these fish houses before you.
Yeah,
Good luck.
they piled in today. Otherwise, there's been more than maybe 20 fish houses on this lake the whole time
you
we've
know
been
where
out
to
here.
find that specific
Oh, yeah, I didn't drive by here today, but I know there hasn't been many.
or someone has it.
We ist one.
And then you go to the east of us, and there's a whole other little pile of houses.
Now, don't forget as well, we have a gift going on right now. December 2nd. You can win that beautiful 68 Chevrolet Nova. Swing over to bicyclegarage.com, snag you up some merchandise.
Fucking Randall's getting out of his one shot. What the hell's wrong with it?
Yeah, he does. His fish house is facing the opposite way.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate y'all very
His
very
front end's
much.
facing west, so when his front end's facing west,
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get all
Yeah,
this
you
stuff.
said this.
Those are science.
I see ya.
Set it up.
That big bright ass lights.
Still
Oh,
smells like burlap.
I just had my top light on.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see ya.
Yeah. Going straight at you.
There's a couple of straggler fish houses.
Matthew Olson 5 says tell Jason Nate and I say hi.
I said there's a couple of straggler fish houses in the center, so.
Yeah, I just went past the fucking two, and I had another two off the
Matt and Jason say hi. Matt and Nate say hi.
You're in their house?
No. They watch me on stream.
I'm slowly getting there. 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's a long ass drive.
I know it is out here.
This here is my 1978 Chevrolet Silverado. Back in the day, it was
I can
assembled
actually
by
see your
quarter horses
houses
and
now.
coordinators. But fast forward to today, it's running. I bought it as a parts truck.
Yeah, the wind's been coming out of the southeast.
Transmission,
Yeah,
set of
it's
keys,
been
and
barreling
really
on
messed
that.
up pedal. I want to get this thing back on the road. For the first time in 10 to 12
You
years.
didn't tell me nothing. I went to move my house in it, then all of a sudden the wind. I set my Starlink down and it was trying to blow my Starlink across the damn lake.
Turn this into a Let's dig in.
Because all I did was put this up on the jacks and then I just skidded it across the top of the ice because it's still clear ice. And then I went up to Mel's. By the time I got back from Mel's, I had probably a 2.5 foot drift in front of the house. So if you need some snow to bank, you can go right in front of my house. There's a pretty good sized drift.
I don't have to stay jealous.
So we'll walk around this thing and come up with a plan. I'm going to kind of quickly get it out of the tree row
Oh,
here.
well then.
We're losing light pretty fast. Now I bought this, like I say, as a parts truck. It didn't have an engine at the time. It has one in it now, and I've actually heard it run once.
All right, well, I'm going to clean off a space on the couch here for you, so I'll see you when you get here.
2 years ago.
All right, bye.
But I've never driven that thing. And this is one of those things.
Not even
where you
bringing his
start a
fish house
project,
out.
you get busy and you
Just
travel
coming out to
right day
bullshit.
week, and you just quite honestly forget about them and push it in a tree.
He
row
made me
over
some
here.
bucket hole
And then you
sleeves.
Get back to this thing. It is actually a pretty darn solid truck, and I have next to nothing into it other than an exhaust system I have put on. So I'll walk you around this thing, show you the Silverado. This thing's been in Tennessee its whole life. It went to a Lawrenceburg dealer and hung around the Cookeville area, and now it's here with me. So that's pretty cool, actually. I don't know how many owners it's had. I don't know a lot on the history. This came in a lot of trucks. I think about 5. I paid next to nothing for this thing, so I had to get it on the road. Be a nice hometowner. Okay, right.
Gonna plug this one.
Parts on this truck. One of the reasons I kind of forgot about this
Probably
was
plug
the
you
title was
guys
so
in.
messed up. I didn't think I was going to get one, so I hit the modulator button, but we're back on it. There's a hope. I've got an application in. It's looking okay-ish, so I want to continue on this thing. It's got a really straight front bumper. It's got the bumperette, push guards on there. The grill is mint. Trim. On the top's a little thing.
Got that in.
Hood isn't bent in half. It's starting to get a little weak, but we can put some Hood Saver 6000s on it. A little bit of rust, but ain't bad. Tires are absolutely perfect.
These up in the cabinet.
Boy, I need to swap that one out. That's been there. There's the Lawrenceburg Chevrolet. Chuck Beard. She's been around for a long time. The store's caved in, but put that on the list. We're going to try to knock that out. Oh, yeah. Something got in the cab, maybe the same thing as the door. The rockers are pretty shot. That's typical. The badging or trim around the cab's in really great shape. Drip rail's pretty decent. It's got the vents on it. Box is pretty solid. A bit of surface rust. What have we got on here? Oh, the old Wranglers. I don't think they make those anymore.
Got one just lurking around it, just won't touch it.
Tailgate. This tailgate alone is worth more than I bought the truck for, I think. Silver bumper, that was gone when a guy got it. No idea where that went. This is too bad. Must have got pushed with the tractor or bucket or something. The guy we got these trucks from has just
Barrican says gotta make it smell good or something.
around with whatever he had. Weeds are growing into everything. Single fuel tank.
This side of the box is in really good shape. Very solid. This door is in much better shape than the other side. Got a little bit of rust down there. Not terrible. Got a dent in that thing right here. Can a guy maybe pull that out? Ouch! I'm not sure. Ouch! I'm not sure. But we could try. Glass seems to be in good shape. The mirrors, the trim side are great, but this side's busted out. The other side is not, I don't believe. It had, see that?
What's up, brother?
It had a popper on it.
Oh, long goddamn day again.
I'm bad.
Welcome.
Them bad boys for you.
Thank you.
They work a hell of a lot easier with 8 and pulls, but they do work with 10s. It's just kind of tight.
That's all right. You'll see.
Oh, fuck.
But that's
I hate working with dents.
Well,
Never saw sun or snow.
you got a couple of expensive habits, so
I
Doesn't
know.
look like it's heavily used. You can usually tell right away if it's all scraped and dented out.
That I know.
The wheelhouses are not beaten or bashed in.
see, should just
So it
brought
is
the old fish
overall-
house out and camped out.
It is a really solid truck. But let's get in the cab, see what we got going. I've never even dug in this thing.
How's your mouth feeling now?
And see if we can
Alright.
trying to break
What
some
these
weed
damn stitches
sticks
will
down
come
as I
out.
go around.
They self-dissolving ones.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, it has
Yeah.
red in here. Why was I thinking it was black? Oh, wow.
Yeah, this will be the last year on this old couch.
Direct.
I can feel the rods just digging in my sides now.
Aw.
The cushions are about shot in it. I mean, I've had it for, well, it's been in that other one for 4 years.
Gerbil cage full of hot cookie dough.
Shane had it
This
in
really
there before that, and then I had it in
Confuses you. You're like, I got
another camper before that. I mean, it's not that it's wore out, it's just the cushions are wore out.
No.
A new cushion.
Bad.
No, I think I'd rather just do the bed.
Silver rattle trim. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Manual
That way,
wheels, so
early ice, I can still put the four-wheeler up in here.
That box. Kind of a unique color. They went with
Yeah.
the maroon interior with the, I believe that's Saratoga.
Notice I cut all the fans down and
with
it
the
stays
white
way nicer in here now.
Silver rattle.
Well, you told me you just got the 2 around
Seal shot.
Says, well, I put the lights up today.
Driver's
Yeah,
side's in pretty good
bullshit.
shape.
Yeah?
I don't know if we're going to be able to get that to flip. Oh, look at the
Sit
stereo
on the
system.
lake and fuck around with it.
Like I said, I got.
95. Digital.
Oh, I bet you I put the lid on that fucking can, didn't I?
Krakow. 100. Realistics.
Oh, I remember them speakers. I used to
If
have
these
all
were
of them.
still,
Mhm.
how cool would that be? So you guys have ever seen these before? I've never seen it set up like this before in a truck. If you've ever seen these or know anything about these, please poop it down there in the comments. I'd be
Get them
really
restored.
curious to
They're the
see
best speakers you will
we can get
ever
more
own
info on
for a
that.
pickup truck.
Oh no, my rearview mirror done fall off. Cold snack holder. See, I already liked the previous owner. We could have had a cold one, I think. I don't know why this carpet is peeled back. Heater core leak, maybe? Oh, the mice. Mice is in here pretty bad. Dash is perfect. There ain't a single crack on this thing. Oh, there's the buckle cover.
Fuel.
Or, oh, we got 2 steering wheel covers, skulls. Nice. Look at the headlights. I can't believe it, but I'm looking right at it. That's the best headliner
That's
I
one
got
thing
on
I
any
couldn't
square
find
foot.
for mine was original green
It's out of this
headliner.
parts truck.
Found everything else in green. Found the dash pad. I had to get the seat out of a Ford LTD.
Kenwood, see, they really like their boom booms, but darn it, stop cutting these dashes up, would you? We got some sort of,
Mine wasn't cut up.
probably the manual choke or something, tire pressure
Yeah.
gauge. She was definitely a high mile rig. It shows 17,621. It's probably 217. Has to be, right?
Yeah, they're sitting down there. You can see them all down there.
Oh, yeah.
They were hitting for a little while, and then they just kind of turned
It's got,
off.
No tilt, unfortunately. Guy likes to get his belly
About
up.
1:30 in the morning, they started for me, and then I got
Got the map.
the last one that I flayed up was
Gotta get around with them.
about 10 o'clock this
Full
morning.
gauges.
Hmm.
You know,
And just as it started getting dark again, they started turning on again.
And click that clock. See if that works.
You can see where I was set up back here, and all the fish were coming out of that hole. So I pulled it forward. Zach, he's over there at 35 feet, and he had 5 of them right away this morning.
You were ready to put that in my pocket. Oh, here we go. Okay. We got tinted glass. Check. All weather air conditioning. Okay.
No,
Heavy
that's
duty rear
interference. He's running a Humminbird there. I don't have my chirp
Also
set.
means it has a 12 volt
Yeah,
meter.
I don't have my chirp set, so
61 amp.
right now I got a 12-foot cone spread. If I start setting the chirp, I lose a lot of that.
Transmission. Electric clock. See, there's that clock. Saratoga silver. Yep.
Oh, fun.
Folding seat back. Custom steering wheel. Bright metallic wheel trim.
Oh.
Paint. Voltmeter gauges. So that was all in there.
Not breaking down.
Yeah, see? December of
Go to
2012.
Baker's Tuesday.
That is,
Oh yeah,
I think the last time this was registered.
you get a wrap.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
I like doing the wraps way
All the
better.
side panels and front panels.
I like the wraps way better because I just start
Still
getting
gonna
more.
claim the center
1978.
and where your feet go. All that I'm just gonna repaint
This
black.
is the original
It's gonna get beat up either way.
I would honestly, I'd put that bed liner in there.
December of 77,
That
date of
won't hold.
application,
I
and
don't think.
expired in September of
Doesn't matter.
78.
So what? You got to
This is
redo
the
it once
original
here, but at least it's in there. It's durable. You got something that'll kind of grip. You know what I mean?
You know Robert.
You know, it gets when mud gets on shit.
That was really cool. Darn mice started getting into that.
Yeah, and you can't clean that shit.
Well, I mean, it keeps a permanent brown tinge, but you can paint over the top of it whatever color you want,
You know,
and then it won't tinge. So if you want to rattle can it, you know.
Or you
So like when I used to do the tow truck boxes,
Yeah.
I used to I do the bed liner on there, get a couple of good coats on there, and then I would paint it because our colors were red and white. And then when I went to Dan's, it was blue and white. So then I'd do the same thing, just paint them whatever colors. And the paint held on it good. Never had a problem with it.
Yep. Wow, this guy was really into the stereo stuff. I bet these probably took at least 8 watts, maybe 10. I don't know. 12. Wow, good enough. Good old Chevrolet interior.
And
They're all
tore into
about
the
the same.
razor
Let's
last
be honest, this is pretty
front end
status quo.
again.
We got tons of junk back here, mainly 4 tons of fire ants. I think
What are
this
you doing
is
with
the
that?
oil that's in it.
You just gonna put another
I've been
standard
looking
front
for
end
this.
in, or are
This
you
is
doing
my
an upgrade?
snowmobile tank
Oh, it's an upgraded front end.
I carry with me. Wondering where that went. I think we ran it off of this. But
But
I
it's
hooked the tape
axle
back
issue
up with
too
these.
again. I don't get it.
Old air cleaner, some landscaping stuff, a nice hose actually.
Yes,
The
it is.
driver's
Tires.
side axle and it pulls
Really
right out of it.
heavy-duty ramps.
The hub stays in the fucking front diff.
Gotta be the tire size.
Take them and scratch
Too much
them.
tire for it.
It's $3.
And
We have to
fucking
hang on
splines
to them.
are bound
That's
up
really
in
all
there.
there is back here. So
Yeah,
let's get
you
under
probably-
the hood. I'll show you.
Honestly, you probably do the same size tire, but you gotta do something that's less aggressive.
So the transmission on this is a complete
Either that or just
mystery.
put a less
I don't
aggressive
know if
tire
it's
on the
gonna work
front.
or not.
Leave a heavier knob. If you're not having any problems with the rear end, you can leave a heavier knob on the rear end.
I
And
don't
then
have an issue with the backs.
so
A
then
smorgasbord of
it's just like when we used to do when we started doing the mud drags.
Yeah.
We had a really less aggressive tire on the front and scooped out and
3 or 4
full blown.
years, I think. Just come in here and look. It used to have a 305. Now it's a Vortec 350.
And then actually we used to run a smaller tire on the front, offset the gear ratio, and run a smaller tire on the front.
Or is that a Ford C? Oh, Ford C's in a museum.
But you could do that. You could run a less aggressive tire on the front, probably give you a lot less problems.
These don't taste good. So, air conditioning, like I say, but the hoses, condenser, and compressor is all gone. Now this looks pretty snazzy, but it's pretty much junk. I'll explain in a second. We do have a new brake master cylinder. It's one of the few new parts. It might stop.
Oh, probably just end up ordering a set of the
Got
XTR
battery in here.
370s.
That's been sitting here for so 2 years. Sounds about right, I guess. Now, okay, the short block itself is my
Straight
friend
tread tire.
Donnie's friends that came out of a late 80s van. It's a Vortec.
Wow,
I think we traded
48.
a bicycle and a
I had,
Blu-ray
I had,
DVD VCR combo for that.
I had the cut and scoop tires on the ass end, and then I had standard tread on the front. Because I only had a 44 on the front. I think in 44.
And so is the.
And it was a 31 spline setup, but
the lightning
still.
hoses are out of the Snowbird, as well as the sparkulators, I believe.
So I never broke a front end in that truck.
The charging whirler and the bracket came out of the back of the truck. All the front gaskets are either homemade or just straight silicone. I don't even remember where this came from. This is the wrong hose. I don't think that's correct. Not sure where the radiator came from either, but basically everything in here is used or recycled. I always tell you guys we hoard parts, and you might think I'm kidding, but
Oh,
not.
boy.
We save where
Wait
we
and see
can,
what Demon's gonna do.
reuse where we can. Did have to put some head
Them
stuff
prices
in it
are gonna
and
go
nuts. I had
What
back
happened
from
with
up
them?
in Cookville put an exhaust
Oh, with
system
that
on this.
25% tariff.
And it's got it'll be quiet.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a big muffler on it and single
Their
exhaust.
plants in
Out.
Canada.
Well, I'll just show you where the stock would be. So this was the biggest expense, and it really wasn't that bad. You can see the big muffler back in there. Oh yeah, look, 12 volt. Nice 12 volt, heavy duty springs. Call it a heavy half. The oil in this was some T4 we found in the back of the truck, and I think we pulled the oil filter off of a different engine, dumped it out, refilled it, put it back in. It does have a gas tank. I think that's hooked up now, but the gas in it is really old. But anywho's, I hope we could just throw a jump box on this, check some fluids, and fire it up. Put some wind in the tires, and get it over to the shop. I gotta clean this thing up. We'll probably start by like pressure washing this
Did
thing.
you watch this guy?
It obviously is going to need
Bicycle
tires.
Garage, he
clean up
was here in
the interior,
Minnesota.
But we're not going to be,
Now he's in Tennessee.
throwing a bunch of parts at this thing. Now, what can a guy do on a weekend, basically, to get a rig going is where we're at. Let me grab some tools and a jump box, see if we can get this cranked over. Okay. Hopefully this got enough juice in her. Staples, yeah. Make sure nothing's changed, it's gonna crank. Actually, let me check the Earls first. Way over full. It's perfect. Well, we are in a really weird angle right now, but at least it's got some.
Way overfull.
Oh, dipstick.
Yeah, I learned some pretty neat tricks from this guy.
So got this juice in
Like I never knew putting 1540 in
it. Sure.
these old trucks when you turn them over and you first start running them. It'll reseat the rings and stuff a hell of a lot faster.
Wow, 57,000 gallons in there. Let's see if it'll crank. Ouch, that is sharp, whatever that thing is.
They're not. Well, they were hitting pretty good earlier. I missed 3 of them, but they were just tail grabbing minnows.
Yep.
I got one that's been lurking on the bottom. He keeps coming up, looking at the minnow, and then swimming back down.
Ouch. Ah, yeah.
But you touch it, he
So
won't go anywhere near it.
It's free. Cranks just fine. I can see the fuel filter tray is bone dry. I can't remember if I put fuel in the gas tank or not after I got it off the bottle. So
let's go ahead and dump some fuel in. And I think I'm
What
going to
he
air this
wants to
tire
do.
up because we're on a crazy angle right now. And I don't know if 5 gallons is going to be enough to pull fuel out. But we'll try. Okay.
Crop
This
is
is the
running over
last
there.
of this year's lawnmower gas, so it should be bad by now. Everything out here,
Everybody says it's the kind of cans they should be using out here. One of those.
cutting, stinging, or biting. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Well, just gonna stand here for 6 months.
Exactly.
I wonder if we should try to drive this straight to the kiln and just
I'm gonna go buy one of the metal ones with a funnel attached to
Especially if
it.
we're gonna run a pressure washer down her. Doesn't make sense to blow fire ants. Leaves everywhere in compost.
We use them at work quite a bit, and I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Eventually got to do this anyway, so might as well do it now. Try to get some of this crazy angle on this thing coming downhill. Just worried all the fuel's going to go to the front of the tank and it's not going to want to pull.
I got the DeWalt version of that, and I love it.
Put some wind in it. Hopefully this holds.
I drive it out of there just like that.
We might have to go find a roller, put on the front here. The tire's not looking
Where are you
good.
fishing over there?
I do have good news. I forgot what this relay was for.
That's my home lake, man. I know that lake like the back of my hand.
Pump on it. See how it's deleted? And it did pump fuel. The fuel make it happener, so we shouldn't have to prime this thing. I think we are going to have to give up on that, though. I don't think that's doing nothing. And I think you got to have the blower motor on to run the fuel pump. That's approved. Gaved up on the tire. Let's go ahead and crank this thing over before my jump box runs dead, because it's got the fan motor running and the digital fuel pump on a dead battery. So let's crank this. See if we can get it to fire.
And then are you guys getting any snow out
Going
there?
in this way. Ooh, I smell bad gas.
Starting tomorrow night.
Couple pumps.
They say by the time this is all said and done, by the end of Wednesday, we should have 5 to 6
Oil pressure
inches.
gauge came up. I know this fuel make it happen or works because
Wednesday.
it was on my blue shop.
So snow on Wednesday.
Few more pumps.
I'm just hoping the wind dies down and I get some salt on the roads before I gotta run Monday.
Can't be that stubborn. It's just a little small block. Oh, the radio works.
It's dead in the water.
Typical square body, either it says it's all the way full or it's all the way empty.
There we go.
Mine actually worked. I had both my saddle tanks working. What I did is I put a pump in the center, so I pump it from one tank into the other. Put an actual electric fuel pump in. So it all ran off of one tank, but you just pump from one side to the other. Instead of doing the stupid crossover. Put a quick back fuel pump in the center of it. And
Lots of oil pressure.
it just sucked because when they shorten fuel hoses, you used to be able to reach over the top of the box.
Doesn't work. No. It's charging. Voltmeter works. Fuel gauge doesn't work, obviously. It's not knocking or banging. Doesn't want to stay
All
right.
under the pump.
Shouldn't be a pump in that one, it should be manual.
And an electric.
See if I can warm it up a little bit here.
What?
And an electric.
Oh. I wasn't listening.
I'm sure it's all this bad gas. That doesn't help. And we really
I've gotten
made
3
a good
walleyes
one.
today. Missed 3.
Well, it runs, but not very goodish. I might be able to foot brake this thing and nurse it back. We got to cut down the road, go through some fields, do some other things. I think our plan of going to the dump is dashed at the moment. We got a little bit of work to do, but and it's fantastic oil pressure. Doesn't sound loose. Don't hear any banging or clanking or anything like that. And that's the most I've heard it run. I believe it is. All right. So now I got to go all the way back to the shop. And with daylight left. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be close. Get this. We're out of wind. It ain't holding any wind. Right there. We get that dolled up. Might still could get this back. We have
Okay.
It's just, I'm not going that way anymore. A chainsaw on its blade. Or a chain, I should say.
Yeah, I think I would probably move towards the center of the North Shore. You're on the right side of the lake, but I think I would move more towards the center of the North Shore. And I'd try to find the weed edge right now.
Tire.
I mean, out here, I'm in 33 feet of water, so you might go hit that deeper pocket out there and see if you have any luck. Otherwise, if you know where the rock pile is over by the cemetery,
Maybe this will work.
the crappie should be in there by now.
No. We'll just let it burn down. Not really good. Guys, gonna get
Actually, that's good. You want to have one of the folks over there? It's over in the corner. Yeah, that's kind of a bass haven over there. If you want to get on the walleyes, you'll get some decent sized perch during the daytime. Some sunfish will run through there when you get to the center of that shoreline, and then
OG asks why.
but then at night the walleyes will start running through. If you get up in that weed, if you want to throw a tip up in about 10 to 12 feet of water, you'll blast some northern pike over there. It's about almost dead center of that shoreline between the channel and that bay where you're fishing.
Trying to stay on lower control.
Yeah, I grew up fishing that lake my whole life. I know it like the back of my hand.
Because
I've never used a fish finder out there. I just know where everything is.
always take the laziest approach first. Oh, look at that. Why did this bit bead issue, huh? We can nurse this back without taking it around, especially the trip there and back. It's gonna get a ton of time. Oh, it's got a brake light on the front. That's neat.
It's got a brake line on the front. That's neat.
It stopped at 17 psi again.
Big Daddy yells Og Burnout just cheered 76 bits.
Damn. No, I've missed 3 of them tonight. I caught 3 earlier today. Apparently, I forgot how to set hooks when the stream came.
Weather Cop just cheered 33 bits. OG says
It's probably severely delayed.
Yeah, these are those cheesy
Alerts please.
large. Most of the time the outer shell strips.
Just sneak past here real quick.
Boy, this side of the truck was submerged at one point.
what's going on with it. Hold on.
Down big time. That puts you back. Not your legs.
Doesn't like
You're
you
gonna need those
anymore.
to walk home.
Probably not.
Back at the shop here, wait for air to build. We'll bust these off. And of course, we got to go with the Cooper Cabras. 235, 60, 15. We're going cheap on everything else. Well, these are
I don't know what happened with that.
actually very affordable tires. I use them all the time. But I want good tires on the truck because I'm actually going to be driving the wheels off the Silverado.
Aero chat's been lagging a lot lately.
But my dually square body gets 3 miles to the gallon.
It's supposed to be sending a ping to keep everything live and active, and it doesn't seem like it's sending that ping
That's
anymore.
fine. And then my beloved Blue Shop truck, I might be trading that for HVAC and the museum shop warehouse thing. So that could be going down the road. And that's the reason this really lit a fire under me, is I need a truck to scoot around in and out of town, getting parts, hauling metal in the back, taking tires to the scrapyard, trash runs, all of that stuff. So we'll actually even balance these. Yeah, I said it. I gotta see if my balancer even works and figure out how to use it again.
Billy says I blame anyone but me.
GM did a really good job on these rally wheels. I always call them Scottsdales or Silverado wheels. Really nice design. These we could paint, but I don't think I am.
Barrican says it's OG's fault. He looks after alerts, or he pretends to.
That really is that being said, I am going to clean it up. The bead here, and I'm also going to put in new valve stems. Just because the guy's got to scoot into bingo fast, you don't want to have a tire down. You know what I mean? And of course, always white letter out, unless you live in Spain or you don't have white letters.
Those are actually really good tires.
Just clean a bunch of sand and junk out of here. We're getting close, I think. Wheel is definitely not straight. Got a Waller in it. Oh, we got her. Alright, let's run back, get it on. We're losing leg quick.
Oh, you're got plenty of light.
Oh, the rotor's rotating.
No, I'm watching Derek from Vice Grip Garage. I've been a fan of his for a lot of years.
1, 2,
He used to be right here in Minnesota.
6.
Now he's down in Tennessee. He's got a few different channels now. He's got Vice Grip Garage. He's got Vice Grip Lodge. And then he's got one other one that he's doing. And then they canceled Roadworthy Rescues because Motor Trend decided to cut out all their...
Love my country, love my freedom, fuck the welfare, no, I don't need 'em. Shotgun race from the woods to the plate. Ain't never went hungry, ain't never too late to come around here, son, running your mouth. You can fuck around and find out.
Amen to that.
OG says they're Ya Go Billy.
Tickle.
That's the way it's been for
Billy says
a
boom.
or so.
Bring her down. Bring her down. It's still low, isn't it? Okay. Tools out of the way, and we'll fire this back up. Well, could also make them fit forward. Bunch of other cars over here. We do gotta go backwards. I'm gonna throw the old JNC on here and just leave it.
I'm just gonna
Charge
sit there and stare at
charge
it.
this too.
So far, my big
OG says and now for mine via Jimaui.
Okay.
it out of here and get it to the shop. Ugh. I just have to neutral drop it. Neutral drop! Does it have reverse? No.
WTF.
There it goes. This took a minute. I have to ride it? I don't know. Come on. It's got drive. Versus the slush box.
The other thing I'd like about living about down south is you can drive just about anywhere in two-wheel drive down there.
Poor truck. Wakes up from a long nap and just gets beat up. Might idle. Let it sit for a minute. Cloud of dirt and dust. Poor thing just has a rag on it to get it out of there. It's idling. Not very good. You can smell the bad gas. Nice and quiet. Better look at the rig now, though. I'm a big fan of the color combo, I gotta be honest. Alright, let's get this back to the shop while it's still running. Gotta go over this big whoop, down over here, down a hill, up over some rocks, through a trail, across some fields. So I have confidence. Well, a 12 volt is great, but it's a single wheel peel. Really dug her out. This is quite the hill it was sitting on here.
Oh.
Sun's about ready to go down. Gotta get moving. Well, we made it back by the barn. It shifted. It drives pretty good considering it's only got one good tire. Must be sitting in a hole or something. It looks weird. Yeah. I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes, come to temperature. And I'm gonna leave it over here tonight actually with the windows down. It's full of mice. And we'll let the barn cats get in there and do their thing. I don't want to drag them into the shop tonight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll get this over and pressure wash this. This is going to look great. I want to get, look at this hood. That's going to clean up really nice. All this white should brighten up. All this stuff. I can get some fresh fuel in it over here. Well, it's not the greatest. It's Co-op 87, but that's going to do it this evening. I'll see you guys right in the morning. We'll get back on the square body. I'm really excited to see how this thing goes. And a beautiful one it is.
There's
Back
two of
on
them down, there's
78
three of them down
Silverado.
now.
I think based on the paperwork we found, it's been off the road for 12 years. So last time it was registered, and we bought it without an engine. It was a parts truck. We're piecing this thing together. Yesterday I drove it for the first time. Today, we're going to jam this thing on the highway. We lost a tire last night. I don't know if it's beat or they finally just had enough after many years of service on that. Today, I think I'm going to check the transmission fluid right away. A little bit worried about that. We took a gamble on that thing. It's whatever was in it. Maybe that's why it was sparked. The transmission was smoked. And the last person yanked the motor out, maybe that was good. So we're going to fire it up again. Check the blood stat on there on the go forward, go backwards machine. See if that's hopefully low. And we'll just add some juice. We got it over here by the service tanks. We can add some better fuel in this thing. Because because you can smell the varnish when it's running. I am still trying to maybe ease this down to the dump because it's full of junk in the back, and I want to pressure wash this and clean it up and start over basically, but not if it's full of rotten stuff. We'll just be blowing leaves and ants everywhere. So let's just dig in to see if it fires up. Gotta listen for that digital pump. Yeah, I'm hearing it. There we go. I think that choke these wires still. This thing warm up for a minute, get it into the shop where I got some wire in and stuff, we can figure out this choke.
Hey,
Some other
reach
stuff.
up there and it's the bottom switch on the right.
Hanging it long.
This one?
Yeah.
Show light.
Okay, we might have to deal with that now. Carburetor issues. You'll make it happen or ain't making it happen. Varnish fuel. Not pulling any rust though, that's good. So we can see here, this was lightly snipped when it came off of the blue truck. And we're gonna need that. See how this is wide open? This thing is
I
wanting
got one going after my fucking sinker again.
This wasn't even cranked all the way open, so it should be chocolating, and it's not right now. This engine wants it, so we'll throw a wire on here, try to run it through the firewall somewhere, get this 12-volt switched, and that's going to actuate this, close this off a little bit, let it run rich while it warms up, and that should help that. We might even have a heater in this truck for this winter. That would be nice. Gonna fly over to the shop, get some accoutrements, be back, and we'll wire that up. Also, gotta get the air pump again, see if this will come back around. The guy that runs the shop and back, it's been at least 20 minutes. It's off. It's gonna stay. I can't get this off, see if I can hear. I don't hear it thinking, but some sandals. These tires are good. Look at the tread on these. Don't worry about like
Look at all the weather
this
cracking.
angle. About ready to blow in our face. Okay, it's back for now. It's up really slowly. Guy found a hole right here. So we'll come out of that. And we'll come under here. Snake it over to the fuel making happener. Put a fitting on it. We'll jam it into the fuse center. Oh, boy, the mouth smell in here is just horrendous. Oof. Okay, so now we're just gonna.
Jeepers, you got way too much stuff in there.
See that prong hanging out? It's like lights, LTS. There's also
Oh, so
red
one of the
wire on
fancier,
the
newer
terminal.
digital
I
models
think that goes to the relay.
is, yeah.
But we're going to try to find a switched 12-volt source there for the choke. I got my meter. We'll just roll the key forward and back and try to find something feasible. So I found it. There's key off, key on, key on. So that's what we'll go for. Still having issues with the choke here, so I'm going to pull this apart and take a peek in
Come
there.
on,
See if
fish.
the spring came off of it or what's going on. We're getting no choke activation, and this is a cold-blooded little small
Sit there and stare at.
Do the
Never
big
seen
ones.
the likes. We're gonna need the choke. So let's take a peek. Time to adjust the idle screws.
now it's running much better. It's barely idle. Still not perfect, but still make it happen or needs a little work. We got a
It
fire over
goes
here.
down, you leave it sit, and then it pops back
Yep.
up.
Well, let's back this over and add some fresh fuel into it.
There's a big old fat
See if
head
we
on
can
there.
ease it down the road.
Better bring this with just in case.
Put a little one on there, they won't touch it.
Shake, shake, push, shake, shake, push.
So they dropped that big one down there, they were all over it.
Yeah. Stupid damn fish. Plate.
Well, I thought the smell would get better in here overnight, but it did not. Whew. Well, the guy almost forgot, but then I didn't because I couldn't move. We were going to check the blood stick, and I am hoping this thing is empty. It's low. Probably 2 quarts. Alright, gotta run over and grab that. That's good news though. We might still have a good shift machine, but I remember putting it in. Either leaks everywhere or it's always been empty. I don't know. Back again. Hello! Well, full of dirt. Perfect. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do. Don't do this at home, please. Don't do anything at home.
Figured you've been reeling it up when I came
A
back
little
here.
bit of brake fluid.
No?
There we go. Swell everything up. Get this thing just shifted hard. Then we'll throw in some Adam. Just for its flavor.
Getting colder all.
Well, they hermetically sealed.
Buzzard just got a nice sturgeon.
Never seen nothing like it.
Nice.
Okay, that was pretty easy, actually. Then it's
Billy says sweet.
puppy. I started doing other stuff and forgot I was running out here.
Doing better than me.
You know, walking around the shop. Why am I here?
Yeah, today the water, the wind was blowing so hard. Water was like coming up to the top of the hole, going back down, up to the top of the hole, going back
We
down.
needed to do the thing that we were doing, but then we forget what we were doing. There we go. That ought to make it bite.
It was coming underneath the fish house so bad before I banked it, the spear hole sleeve was whistling.
Well, right on the mark. Shake, shake, jiggle, jiggle, pull, shake, push.
OG says 46 inches.
Go gears.
That's a nice sturgeon.
Reverse. Nothing. There it goes. Big delay, but that might get better. Drive. Solid drive that time. Reverse is really delayed, but it bites. Oh, the smell in here is just something terrible. There we go. That's way better than 5,800 RPM and not moving.
Get some fresher fuel in here. That might certainly help. Go for another burner in here. Gotta get the stuff away. Need socks, but that's to be expected. Rides so much better than my
The fat head probably runs away from the, I ain't chasing that. But look at this shiny thing up here.
Yes, right now. What's he doing working gaps? Can't be.
Unless you darted after it. Yeah.
Hanging. Anyway, shifting is not so good. 1-2 is okay, but 2-3, it's not a slip. It's like a long pause, but it doesn't move in RPM. It like struggles to shift, if that makes any sense. It's kind of odd, actually. I don't think the temp gauge is working. Got good oil pressure. It's charging. Still have a hesitation in it, but you know, the best solution for pollution is dilution. So we just added a bunch of good gas to bad gas and hope that
Over there messing with that one.
makes okay-ish gas. Hope that right rear tire hangs in. We've got quite a few more miles to go. And we'll clean this
Up
thing
on
out.
the sinker.
Kind of weird rubbing up the rotor or drum. Good self-clearance. No, not in that. It's fine. Well, I got all the stuff out. Gotta adjust that. Now we're gonna sweep this thing out, and we're right back where we got the truck. The iron is so thick, a guy could do nothing with it. Wow, this bed is in really good shape.
That's your other middle.
Look at how nice this bed is. I mean, it hasn't worked a day in its life. There's not a single dent in this thing.
Wire right there. In the little one.
Thanks to this hopper. It's been kept out of the weather and the elements, and it kind of limits what you can throw in the thing. You're not going to come over the side with a big forklift or anything like that, but it looks great. And added bonus, the tailgate works beautifully. So you get stuff jammed in it. Well, it didn't work. Huh. Wasn't pulling the latch hard enough. Works perfect. There's fellas out there pay $500-600 for a tailgate like that. And that's what I paid for the truck. So we're doing just fine. Let's get it back to the shop and start cleaning. Open the door and Caprice came through my legs. Smelling the mice in there. Yeah. So a guy's gonna run a foam cannon on this, which is really just brake cleaner, engine degreaser, and a little bit of gunpowder. Let it soak, and then we'll blast this thing. I'm not gonna comment wash it or SOS it or anything like that. I don't think it's gonna need it. We'll see though. Bumpers, maybe might hit those with SOS. That's a really nice bumper. Yeah, I'll probably do that. But let's get this truck washed up, get all this grime and dirt and stuff off of it, then we can get it into the shop. Oh, I gotta roll the window up.
Window's going yet.
I've done that before.
Racing. The guy's gonna go ahead and get some SOS pads and, you know, scrape the lid on the front bumper here. This will bring it around, get all of that gunk off.
I've been marking a few of them, but they come up, they look at my minnows, and they go up and look at my sinker, but they don't touch nothing. cleans up pretty good.
Wow, what a difference. It's coming clean, but there's some areas that are just really stubborn, like up on this silver paint, tops of the boxes, and also the hood was being really stubborn. I might have to get some SOS pads or some drill pads out and scrub on that a little bit, but it is coming around. Well, I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed with a Quad Zero steel wool pad here, which really won't hurt old dull paint like this. I can get it off, but it's like mud basically, so I threw on some engine degreaser. Even that's not.
It's embedded in.
It's going to be a lot of scrubbing, I think. I'm going to have to get some Scotch-Brite pads.
Well, that's
Headlights rounds are perfect. The glass is in really good shape. Does need some Windex. I tried to
Loki Fishing says thank you Ron and shout out to all the other IRL streamers out there without on-grid reliable power, home Wi-Fi, and OBS on a second monitor. Sorry, just needed to get that out there. If you know, you know.
that rust out. The rest of the truck looks really, really good. I'm still just blown.
I got on-grid reliable power. I'm running a Honda.
I could probably count. I couldn't even tell you how many square miles.
Oh.
And I can count on two hands how many times I've
Yeah, I'm
seen
gonna
that
have
this clean. Yeah, this came out of the
Switch
company.
over to the
You know, people just
generator power. Let the battery
get tired of
come back
projects, have to
tomorrow.
move on, get what they need.
I ran her
whatever
pretty
else
low
it may
today.
be. And sometimes
It's
you get
coming
lucky.
back, but
There
that
are some
last
really good
20%,
deals
it
out
takes
there.
forever.
Yeah, this is one of them. Cab's
I'm
kinda
running
worse
the
than
heater in the
I think
Starlink
that
because of the snow.
maybe could be
Honda ain't a grid, especially if it's cold.
massaged.
I know, I keep it in the fish house till I started. I was out here all day yesterday and all the way up until this afternoon before I actually put it on. The battery bank was getting low. That Starlink draws quite a bit of power when you gotta run the heater.
Just jack this up and work our way to the back. We've got 3 to do. Let's knock those out. We gotta clean them, get the weights off, mount them, and then rebalance them and get them back on the truck.
Hondas need to be spooned at night.
You got them outside running, don't ever shut them off. Just keep feeding them fuel. I'll have a Predator next year though. That way if I decide I want to leave it out there and not have it running, that's not a big deal. It'll start anyways.
Well, it is
Yeah, I talked to a whole bunch of guys here on stream that all run them Predators. They're like, you don't have to put foam underneath of the tires. The little wheels hold up just far enough.
These silly little lug nuts.
And they all said the same. They all said, oh,
They got a shiny
every once in a while the battery don't hold to it, so
It's a terrible design.
you get a pull start once in a while.
I got most of them.
I've
Had
ran
to replace
issues
a few.
with that.
Luckily, I got
Right,
a
but
bunch
you don't
of
leave it outside in the cold for days on
20 in
end
stock.
without it running.
So,
Yeah.
a few new lug nuts.
No Generac love?
Looking way better.
I just want something with electric start and a cold start because even if the battery and the Predator don't want to go, I can put a pigtail on here and run a pigtail out of the Predator. All I gotta do is plug it in and I'll have all the battery juice it needs to
It's
start.
very late at night. I just wanted to get these tires on and over.
I think I got enough battery to start a generator. What do you think?
Odds and ends.
I got enough battery juice to start a few trucks around here.
Fair.
And do a big trip into town.
My Honda's good, but it would be nice to it's just
We'll see you guys.
literally it's about 500 watts short of what I need.
Good morning.
So that way I can run the 12 volt stuff off the battery stuff, and I can run the 110 stuff off the generator.
But the truck already.
The whole reason for the big battery bank that I got is because that way the power inverter will run as will act as a
I think we're gonna go ahead and
kind of
vacuum
a
this thing out, try to get
go
some-
between, so that way it's not stressing the generator all
OG
day.
says you have enough battery to start a 747.
Get the stuff behind
Yeah.
the seat, and start cleaning there.
You have that on the bigger jobs.
And that dent over there.
Vacuum bitch. Gonna find some nice skeletons. Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Been spraying everything I can think of in here to get that mouse stuff. Spray, clean, gear oil, ventilation.
That's thinking maybe it's perched down there.
Smearing silicone on things. Getting better. Smells like a.
Very well could be.
Steiger tractor or something now, you know? That really is dirt.
Oh, found your toter.
There's something calming actually about a dusty smell in the pickup. I don't know what that is.
I see that.
Gorgeous, this thick house smell. Gets to a guy.
Not bad, 10-speed setup. With a full walkthrough.
There's some of it. I wonder if it's in here.
That's not bad at all. Oh, he redid it himself.
Should consider pulling that. Pulling the dash off. What have we got in this? Hello? Oh, something. Get all of the vents. Might just call me in that glove box. That'd be nice. Maybe fix that.
Oh shit. I guess you only need a 50Ah battery to start a 747.
Oh, see, that's what I'd like to do. I have everything to make that four-wheel drive.
It'd be perfect.
Problem is,
Just
that
trying to make
just
it-
like this guy, he thinks it's worth $5 grand.
You know, it's gonna be a work truck. Nice looking work truck. But it's gonna get dirty, right? So let's not panic about sitting here all day trying to get every little last crumb. That's insulation there. I think this is our battle zone right here. That's the original.
Loki Fishing asks, but do the doors stay on?
Yeah.
This stuff. Old insurance cards. Not needed. Sure
Big Daddy yells Og burnout, just cheers 766. Loki Fishing says Mod Love.
Got him! Got him!
That's cool. possible.
Yeah, if this is what you were looking for, something like that.
I was thinking about I'm one of this Ranger.
OG yells you see at Loki fishing with me as a mod. When I ban someone, you get bits.
Try to disinfect this thing. I'm gonna actually use brake cleaner. There's a bunch of, what, down the bottom here. I don't want it to get airborne. So we're gonna turn it into mud. Soak it down with this. Also kill a lot of stuff. There we go, it's floating, but that's it. And this stuff I'm just impressed with. This is the blastable odor stuff. Through here a little bit for you. There you go. Oof. Okay, let's go through this paperwork, let this stuff dry. Wow, we hit the absolute mother load here, and rarely do you see this on any vehicle. I'm going to package this up in some sort of envelope or something, trying to
There you go.
protect it.
That's what you
And
need.
check this out. First and foremost, we have the original
Yeah.
sales agreement.
It's
Purchased
completely
December
cashed
14th,
out. It'll be a
1977
100% ground up
for
bill. It's cool as shit.
$5,523.48. Nashville City and Bank was the one who put the loan on it. Next to that, we have not only one immaculate build sheet. This corner's here, I just need to fix it. We have two. Look at that. Incredible. Fully loaded Silverado.
Loki Fishing says let's go. Looking for more mod gigs?
Heavy duty springs, stabilizer in the front. I mean, it is fully loaded. Firethorn interior, of course, we do that. Silver, white, two-tone. And this says it came out of St. Louis, Missouri, of course. It's where everybody headquarters. And it went to Chuck Brewer Chevrolet in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. And now we can absolutely...
OG says always, as long as they don't interfere with this man.
1978 dealer tag still on the
Jesse right
How
next
cool is
door,
that?
got a few of them.
Then we know it was sold in
I missed three.
1986 for $3,500.
Or my streams.
So it was sold in '86, and then it was sold again
OG, you stream?
at some point back to Tennessee. And this is a pile of repairs.
Okay, so this back
all
here.
2012. This is when the truck was
Take the top off, put some silicone on it. It's insulated, but he didn't put any silicone on the. It's pretty much the way Matt got it. He just redid the wheel wells.
The rest is wheel cylinders, brake master cylinder, and then
Only on special occasions.
receipts for all of those repairs. This is miscellaneous nuts and bolts. So we have a really documented truck here and the original maintenance schedule book with it. The only thing we're missing is the darn window sticker, but how cool is that? Very rare that we can find something like that. So I'm going to tuck all this away, protect it, and it will stay with the truck or the file with the truck. I don't like to leave this stuff in the glove box because we know what happens with it, but I'll file it up. Oh, it's getting better in here. I'm going to glove up for this.
Loki Fishing says I will be there.
It snapped like it's supposed to. How am I supposed to intimidate the mice? Okay. Oh yeah. That's pretty awesome. Boom. Chunky. Alright.
Might take this cabinet out, put one more window right here.
Until then, we'll watch this dude not catch fish.
In your vehicle. Around this long without-
I don't believe in catching fish, man. I don't even use hooks.
Nice to get a little
What the fuck do I want to use hooks for? Then you gotta clean them.
OG says once my leg is better, I hope to get out more.
smell defense.
This one next year will be set up a little better for two guys to fish out of it.
Okay.
Loki Fishing says I am also a fish conservationist.
Interior detailer high gloss.
Yep.
Sure. Oh, that's good. So, give a guide. Oh, you sure can. Okay. Just, I'm getting confused. Starting here again. That looks nice. Soak the rag down. Wow, that's just. It soaks it right out. Or dash.
Shit.
See a lot of sunshine over here.
His wife actually does upholstery and interior work.
Josh got one.
It's clean though.
Well, they're doing better than me on stream. I caught all three of mine before stream,
Not that we always need to.
and then I missed three of them. But the neighbor over here, he's catching the ones that I probably market are probably perch. And if I was really wanting to get ran,
10 hours.
Absolutely transforming this truck.
Damn. If I wanted to get rammy with, I could pull a different pole down, put a minnow head on, and go after
Tell
them.
you what you got. Use it. Yeah. This headliner's unbelievable. Visors aren't all bagged out. Okay. A lot of the same.
I'm jealous of that
Switch sides.
headliner, though.
Keep going.
You sure that's one that was in there and you didn't replace it?
Oh, that's a factory one.
Oh, it smells getting much better. So you probably already noticed I ripped that big, awful, flaming dragon wheel cover thing off. Reason being is this has got the typical sticky wheel. I'm sure that's why they put it on it. And there's a science thing happening there, laminating the stuff in the plastic and stuff.
OG says he had all kinds of fish on his graph. They just weren't biting.
The neighbor was just telling me that we probably got
Loki
first
Fishing
too.
says carrot.
Citrus-based cleaner like these tub towels, or if you have baby wipes. Seriously, come in here, and this will eat that stuff right off and make it smooth, all in one shot. Look at that. Cleaning it right off. Armor alls and stuff like that aren't going to do nothing. They'll make it worse, actually. So I'm going to go around this. Just work it in really good. Hornworks. I'll be dipped. This is a good truck. Got one headlight. Wait. Dimmer switch is locked up. Well, they just replaced that 12 years ago. Blinker. My God, a flasher. The high beam indicators on. A little sticky back here. Basically, this whole hull, we're just trying to get all these skin cells off. You know what I mean? Two of you just puked in your mouth.
let's listen. That's what this is. I mean, I'll have a cold snack with the last guy, but I don't necessarily want to eat his skin. Well, if you say it like that, Eric, well, I mean, it's essentially you're breathing it. Well, you're not chewing on an arm, though. All right, you've taken it too far. Too far. There's children watching. My bad. That's my bad. Okay, I'll take that one. Okay, we'll let this dry. And there should be some obvious dull spots if we've missed. By the way, don't do this. You take a rag and you do a swirl thing like this. You're grinding dirt into that soft plastic lens. And when this dries, you have effectively the spider web circles in there. Possibly exactly 30 minutes. We got a silver rattle. Since the seat still looks
Yeah, I
brand
think
new,
I'm gonna find an old carburetor truck just to do drive back and forth to work.
I've got some of this stuff still, and it's worked so good in the past. I'll go ahead and use it again. It foams up like shaving cream. This is the
Yeah, everybody's selling them in the trucks. Good grief.
put on way too much, and then we'll let it sit, eat, and then we'll come back with a rag and smear that around for a while if it's way too much, and then wait for that to kind of get in and smear that around. But 6 times around, it'll look pretty good. I bought a saw a seat cover. Wow, we've got quite the mixture of smells going on in here, but
Which ones have you seen?
Oh, there's
thankfully all of them are better than most.
I know there's like 3 or 4 on there. The guys are building new chassis and everything.
See, I put a bunch on because it's just gonna soak it in. So I'm kind of just smearing it around to make sure
I don't know, take your pick.
every square millimeter. I just
Yeah.
nailed something. Every square
It's getting
millimeter
really expensive, man. Nobody wants to do it no more.
gets some juice on it.
All on the side by side ATVs.
Soak. What's the buttons on the back? Folding seat option. What a unicorn. Now look at this. Nothing but a little bit of elbow grease. And we have got a nice looking truck. And the smells there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
Good enough for me. Way good. So let's work on the exterior.
I got a couple of phone
First thing
calls
we'll
asking
do
if I
is
was
get the
interested in
slides.
buying them back.
Driving me nuts.
Yeah, we heard, Soggy. We got a play-by-play.
This one I had the fancy chrome strip around the window. It's actually the retainer for the glass with weather strip. But she's long since been faded. This also has the upgraded grill from the factory. Let's see. Where'd my rags go? They just had them. Ah, way back here.
Damn.
Clean glass can also really change your rig. I ain't kidding. Go clean the rig, the windshield in your rig. And you're gonna be like, what did I do? Primer the thing? No, you just clean the windshield off. I can't see as it is. In my old age, this is a really good modification. There is
Very good modification.
There we go. But we didn't test the wipers yet. I don't know to do this.
harder and harder to get.
And I'm not even seeing a rock chip.
Now, if you get glass coverage on them, you have to wait for them to custom make a windshield for them.
That don't bother me so much.
And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta have that." And I'm like, "Why? They're junk." It was the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
There we go.
Remember the one time I tried putting a 102-inch stainless steel antenna in there. It's not really good. Just so you know, that doesn't work real good for a
So we got this dead.
fender mount
Obviously, we cannot
setup.
have that.
It don't last long.
So we are going to professionally repair this and completely fix it. And by that I mean we're just going to pop this dent out. Okay-ish. Not okay-ish. But at least, you know, out. It's been forever looking. I got this little cheesy dent suction valve thing. And I wanted to test that on here because I have never got it to work.
Right now you can't
I
find
also
it.
noticed that we've got some holes in here for the old big, you know,
truck.
beer.
I don't know.
And some other weird holes.
Just like Cottonwood Lake, man. It's like how many people got to go through on that lake before they realize that that shit ain't safe.
That's strange.
They can't go
Anyway,
through
had a
now.
guy jam a plier in here is what I'm thinking.
Oh, there were still guys trying to go out there through other accesses, and they still fell through. There's been 6 trucks that have gone through in the last 2 weeks.
Some of it.
I heard last week they
Do that
closed
again.
it.
They did, but you can't close private accesses.
I think we got lucky the first time.
Let's pop the interior panel off and go through the inside.
That's what I'm wondering.
I think we're going to have to take the door part out. Okay, rid.
I'm gonna holler a minute once. Give him shit.
Get some that's there. One last effort. Nope. Alright. Let's get the door panel off. Try to get this knocked out a little bit.
OG says when Josh was starting up this morning, he saw a guy step over a heave, and he fell through.
I don't play with them.
Go. Come on, man.
Tomorrow night I'm pulling my fish house off the lake so I can bring it home and get some stuff cleaned out of it. That's one thing about having a small fish house, man. You got to be accountable for what you put in here.
Guess we'll find out if this door's
So
open
I'll
or-
probably tomorrow afternoon.
Paper under here and a couple other.
That way I can get it home, get some stuff cleaned up, get some stuff cleaned out of it. Get supplies in it for next week.
Ruger wife says howdy.
Duty.
Mm-hmm. Yep, stuff and things. I need you to get off there. Thank you. Oh. I missed an attachment point. Get off there. Boy, the seat is squeaky clean.
They take the doorknob off or the lock knob.
Even makes the noise. It's weird it doesn't have power windows though. Isn't it? It is. I thought that Silverados always came with power windows. Maybe they were deleted. She is on there. Don't break the panel. see anything. No. Is this going to help? Potentially. There's the ridge paper and what's left of it. Alright, let's try this again. Guy's got to jam his 2XL mitts in here. Let's see if we can do some body work. Hip. Hip. Ah. Hip.
Retro says looks cozy AF in the OL Fish House.
Oh, it is. It's gonna suck having to take it off the lake tomorrow, but I need to.
Right here.
We'll let it clean this out, clean the expedition out.
2x for something. See if I can find. Found me a 2x burger. Oh, I can't fit it in here though. Think that through.
Much as I like the walleye potential I'm on, I want to go get some fish so I can work that IRL fish counter over a little bit.
How low can you go? Not low enough.
Now that the lake's accesses will be all shored up by tomorrow.
It's better, but it's not what I want. Most of the sandals about went down again in the condor. Jessica's here to help. I've grabbed the porta power. Getting serious. No, I have a football or a basketball. You can inflate it, throw it in the door, and just pump it up. It pop it out most likely, but I don't have one. So I'm gonna guide the porta power, and Jessica's gonna pump it. We're gonna see if we can knock it off that way.
Ruger wife says won meat raffle tonight, but lost our hinders on bingo. Came super close to winning blackout jackpot, but no cigars.
Damn.
We might have maxed it out.
It's just really like.
Or your whip.
Yeah, I think it's a whip.
No, we might have maxed it. Let's test it outside of the truck. Okay, pump it up again. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's the max of this. So I need something to space it. Yeah. Odd. We're shopping for blunt devices.
OG says off to bed. Have a good night, everyone.
You too, brother.
Big lock. Let's see. Got that 2x4.
I'm gonna give it about another 9 minutes and then I'm calling it a night. Even the little fish that were messing with me are non-existent, so I'll probably drop the other rattle reel and just.
Ram plate 4000.
It was exciting until it wasn't.
Okay. Got this plate. It's actually an attachment for the hook. So we're going to try it. It's a scissor attachment. A second here. Gotta get my hands in all the pinch points.
Barrican asks you won some meat for me, Ruger wife? Pokey Fishing says at OG Burnout, good night, man.
Thank you. Try this again. Can I pump it? Keep going. Nice. Go a little more. Oh, that's next. Okay. Well, I usually like to stretch it like too far, because sometimes when you relax it, it'll just bonk back in. Go ahead and relax it and listen. Turn that down. Oh, it didn't go. Nice. Still dented, but going to town certified. Look how much is cleaned up there. Good little truck. Found the original purchase paperwork and the build sheet in the glove box. So a guy needs to do something with the exterior of this truck. It runs pretty darn good. The tires, wheels look great. The interior's coming around. But we gotta spruce up the outside. I don't really want to go crazy with this. We're just trying to make a nice, solid daily driver. You know, one of those deals again, we swing by the tavern, go into some bingo, hang out with the buddies. You just stumble outside. Is that your rig? Yeah, that's my Silverado. I said, what do you do? He says, good enough to get by. That's about it. Now, is this a good candidate to strip down
That was happening.
body work and paint? Yes, actually. It's a 117,000 mile truck, it looks like. The bed is indeed the snot. We've got all the original documentation, paperwork, and even the dealer badge on this thing. That's really cool. But in most lives, and in most cases, all of you are working your tails off. You're getting in every extra hour you can. Some of you are working 2 jobs. When are you going to paint this truck? Right? And I personally think, my humble opinion, it is absolutely just unrealistic to think you're going to paint every project you bring on. No one has time for that. And look, it doesn't come down to price. I've been showing you guys how to do $50 paint jobs for 20 years. It's the first on the interwebs. I'll show you how to do the tractor paints and stuff like that. It's great to know how to do that, don't get me wrong. It's a nice feather in the cap. But don't feel bad if you're bringing projects home and you're not painting every single one, okay? And this is one of those. May someday get to that, but for now, I want to seal this up. I want to slow down the rust and the fading and everything like that. I want to seal the bare metal and all of that. Give it some UV protection. So what we're going to do on this one is just use the Vice Grip Garage Shine Juice. This is very fast to use. It's very affordable. We're just going to go to town, and Jessica's actually going to help me. But here's where this gets fun. I am currently testing this formula, slightly improved even, in an aerosol. I can literally spray on Shine Juice. Look how fast and easy this is. That's great. So I'm going to do some testing. How far will this thing go today? Jessica's also going to grab a can. She's going to hit the other side. We're going to juice this thing up, bring some shine around, as you can see. I've got to, there was something else I wanted to do. Oh, we'll put some hood savers on it. Got to button up the door panel, and we're ready to put this thing to work. I got some tires to hold it down, some other errands to do. So Jessica's going to get after it back there. Now, just to clarify, the aerosol can is not out yet. I like to really test all the products before we put them out to you guys. Right now, you'll get the can off of ViceGripGarage.com. And how you use this is just a simple pour a little bit in a mixing cup, dip it. We throw some rags in there for you, some t-shirts, and you might get an undie or two.
Sorry about that. Just dip it in there and you wipe it on. A little bit goes a long way. Just get some coverage, work it around, and then what you do is you actually wait about 15-20 minutes, and then you come back and wipe off the excess with like a microfiber or a terry cloth, and that'll make sure you get a nice flat, even surface, and all the shine matches and everything like that. She's going to town on this side, I'm going to get to town on the other. How's it coming over there?
Looks good, actually.
Don't forget the top.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back over to it.
I'm going to start on the hood. Probably 6 inches away from the panel.
Can this run? Like, if there's too much of it?
I mean, yeah, if you get it really close, it's going to run, but keep in mind this isn't paint. We can wipe the excess right off, so you're not going to hurt anything.
Okay, great. Can we do the bottom part, the white also?
Yes, please. Oh, yeah, that's looking great.
Yeah. And it's okay if I get it like on the trim and stuff?
Yeah, you get it right out of the trim because we're going to wipe the excess off. She's asking all the right questions. Will this run? Absolutely. But we're going to wipe it off. It's not paint. It doesn't build up that thick. Can you get it on stuff like stainless? Absolutely. It's not going to hurt it at all. We'll just wipe it right off. Even glass, you just take your glass, right? So we're not having to tape anything. We can juice everything. Plastic lenses, it'll bring them around, sharpen them up. Rubber, it'll sharpen it up. I've seen people use shine juice on plastic shutters, wood, picture printers, wood art, all sorts of materials. It works really
Stretch.
great.
So fast.
Yeah, I had
Oh, yeah.
3 of them that I missed, but Matt was just telling me over here that they were probably perch. That's why they were tail grabbing me.
What I'm trying to do here for you guys is give you some options if you're more comfortable with the strike hand. Go with that. You might end up using less product. It's also a lot harder to use too much product, right?
You turn those fans on?
Sure. Has the same good smell. I never named it. Reminds me of a car wash. Maybe a kick a berry or something.
It almost has like a hint of like cherry or something.
I'm gonna go down and see if I can't get these perch. That perch on the bottom, see if we can't jig them out of there.
This is actually really fun.
It goes on so, like, the other stuff works really great too, but this is so much quicker.
I love what this does to the color rust. Color rust? What it does to rust.
Oh yeah, that does sound weird. That's true. Yeah.
See if I can't plastic jig these dudes out. Oh, I got some small minnows I can go with the minnow heads on.
So you've done 2 bed sides with your can
And the door over there.
and the door.
Not the top door. I think he doesn't come up. I did the rest.
So I did a hood, 2 fenders, door. Oh, that's some, oh, it's getting dark.
And spin a little bit too, but
fans would do a long bed truck. That's kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Gonna let it sit, dry a little bit. Oh, nice. That looks great. Nice truck. I can't even think how many square bodies I've had. Have we ever had the silver white combo? We've had every other color white combo.
Barrican says come get that minnow.
But I don't know that we've had
Here fishy.
silver. Okay, we'll be back to wipe off here in a little bit. Well, it's been sitting for a few minutes. I'm just going to take some microfibers. And all I'm doing here is just rubbing off. If I got it heavy in one spot or whatever else, kind of just evening it out. And this is going to give it that matte or that satin finish. When it's applied correctly, it will not attract dirt, dust, bugs, anything like that. It's not sticky or anything like that. Boom. Give me a few minutes. It's just a lot of this. I'm gonna go around and wipe it. There it is, all wiped down, finished. Now you see it's a matte, or some would maybe say satin, and that's the intention.
I'm good, Jake. You asked me like 2 hours ago, lol.
Oh, it looks so good. I really like this color. Now, if you like when it was shiny, you might want to look into the clear coat. We have wipe on, gloss, matte, and satin kits there as well. Rakes right on. A lot easier than buffing. Sharp looking truck. Well, guys got the door panel put back together, and of course it looks the same on this end of the business, but after the porta power treatment, this side looks empty, but so much better. Not too bad. We do have one very important modification left to make to the inside and a repair. You know, science has proven, and they used to teach this in schools, and they don't anymore unless you go to like a trade school or something like that. But science has proven time and time again, you can't own a 70s to early 80s pickup truck without, you know, the saddle blanket seat cover. So now that we got her nice and clean, let's see if we can get this on. This Flavor is Jungle website. It's probably going to be way too small. It's probably for a Nissan Skyline or something like that. But, you know, we'll give her a shot. And of course, we have to go with the red. Let me rustle this for 15 days minimum. I'm already, where do you put it? Does this one go up here? How does that one? How does this one go? Where's this one? Are you telling me this is supposed to go under the seat and around? No. It can't be. That can't be. I think that's the case. Pretty sure that's what they're saying to do here.
Oh, she goes Matt, you?
Do we need it though? I don't know if we necessarily need it. I was just saying it would be nice. Well, all joking aside, this thing actually fit pretty good, and it's got these buckles and straps you can adjust instead of just like the cheesy little hooks that I always rip off. Western Auto, here is his brand, I guess. Not getting me.
hitting nothing. I can't even get an irritation strike out of him.
Teens are navigating the most complex information landscape in history. Social media feeds mix rumors, memes, and influencer marketing in with news, opinion, and entertainment. It's no wonder young people don't know how to separate fact from fiction. News literacy education can help.
Fabricated content is misinformation that is designed to deceive you into thinking that it's real.
Find out how at newsliteracyweek.org.
It's a thing of beauty.
Deliveries
happen.
We didn't order that.
Sure you don't want to take our vows?
Frazzle happens.
Hey, did you check your jacket? You're my hero.
Close calls happen.
Not today. Oh, good.
This happens. That happens.
Well, that ain't moving it. Let's try something else.
Be there with Ring. Learn more at ring.com.
With Amazon Photos, Prime members get unlimited full-resolution photo storage and 5 gigabytes of video storage, so you can securely store your digital photos. To get started, download the Amazon Photos app.
I don't even know if these blow. Yes, they do.
People versus Lourdes Vega. Good morning, Mr. Stone. I don't believe I've ever had the pleasure of seeing you in my courtroom, Mr. Ross. When I heard the circumstances of this case, I was compelled to offer my services. Lourdes Vega is not the criminal actor here. She's a victim of human trafficking, rape, worse. No disrespect, but let's just stick to the matter at hand, okay? How does your client plead on the charges of assault, kidnapping, attempted murder, and manslaughter? Not guilty. I assume the people request remand? We do. My client needs protective custody. Why is that? She's a potential witness in a RICO case against the Mexican cartels. These animals, they kidnap, torture, murder, and mutilate with impunity. Mrs. Stone.
I'm not aware of any pending case, Your Honor, but in any event, we can put her in solitary in Rikers.
Her life has already been threatened. She's not safe in institutional incarceration. I'll take this under advisement pending the DA's recommendation. You'll get back to me, Mr. Stone?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, next case.
Miguel Lopez is a trafficker.
Do you have any evidence of that other than Lourdes?
Not yet, but I will.
Until then, my hands are tied.
So Miguel walks, and you're putting his victim on trial.
I offered a deal. It was refused.
Drop the charges.
Not for murder. Even if I could, she would be deported. Is that what you want?
No, it's not. But if she agrees to testify in a trafficking case, she will be granted asylum and go into witness protection. An inmate at Rikers threatened to skin her alive. That has to come from the cartels.
We can get her into protective custody, at least until the trial is over. But I have to drop the charges against Miguel.
So you can run back to Mexico.
We don't know he's going to do that.
We need to back up your story. You never said anything to the Buckleys.
No, of course not. Miguel was the one who put the ad on Craigslist. He made me say I was a student.
Hey, pay to win.
He said if I said anything to the Buckleys that I would be dead.
Pay to win what's happening.
Does Lourdes have any friends? Any family?
Come
I don't
on.
know. She never had any visitors. She rarely made any calls. Hey.
Mommy, when is Lourdes coming home?
Oh, soon. Give us a minute. Why don't you go turn on the TV, okay?
I miss Lourdes.
I know, honey. Both my kids, they're very attached.
I can imagine. Lourdes lived with your family for 5 years. She never talked about herself.
No. Now I know why. But I guess I never asked. I mean, we cared about her, but
But she was no help.
it sounds so horrible.
Who's this?
The blonde, I think her name is Ingrid. She's a nanny for the family next door. Oh, the dark-haired one, I don't know who that is. No, I don't know her. Lourdes, there were 2 photos in your room.
She a friend from Mexico?
I'm sorry, I just don't want the family she works for to find out.
Find out what? She was trafficked? Just like you? We gotta talk to her, Lourdes. Unless you
I can't seem to trigger a bite out of this dude for nothing.
his life never paying for what he did to you, what he did to those other girls. Hey. Where was this picture taken? Central Park? So Lourdes had a thing with me. The tavern on the green, get the kids an ice cream before they cross the park every day after school around 3:30.
It's not that now.
Is that her? Excuse me.
Maria?
Hi, Maria. Can I talk to you for a second?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, no, you're not in any trouble. We want to talk to you about Lourdes Vega.
I'm sorry, I can't talk.
Just take 1 second. Just 1 second. Maria, you knew Lourdes from Texas, from Mexico.
It was a long time ago. I want to forget about that time. I'm happy now. Better than in Tenancingo. Please do not call immigration.
No, that's not why we're here. We wouldn't do that.
Maria, what need you
Well, looks like I'm just gonna put another set line down.
This man.
And now I'm getting irritated.
Was he the trafficker at the safe house in Texas?
No.
Are you sure? Because Lourdes told me what he did to Estella and to Lucita.
Did you know that?
Yes, I need them.
Okay, one more time. Did you recognize this man?
I've never seen him before in my life. I'm sorry.
Please.
My life is a numbers game. From 9 to 5, I stare at ones and zeros. Hey, John, I'll have that to you in about 10. Alexa, when's my next meeting?
Your next event is at 3 p.m.
From 5 to 9. Alexa, set 5. That's when I do my family ones and twos.
With Amazon Photos, Prime members get unlimited full-resolution photos.
What about another type of bait or something?
So you can securely store your digital photos. To get
If
started,
you move it, they're not even interested. So what I'm gonna do is put this other set line down with a green demon jig.
Billy says I got a bait for you, Barracan.
sitting at now.
Barrican says, do you now? I might try it, cause my wallet seems to be attracting all the gold diggers.
Well, she's not the easiest person to please. Right, Mama?
Billy says LMAO.
Don't get me wrong, I mean, we do love her. It's my bug, isn't it?
But she needs a place of her own, and fast.
Thankfully, she's on Redfin. Redfin updates their listings every 2 minutes.
That means every 2 minutes, there's a chance we'll be back to having our porridge in peace. Oh, wow. This one's just right.
What is more yet?
Okay, so this other nanny, Maria, she denies knowing Miguel. Maybe this is a case of mistaken identity.
More likely, Maria is terrified of the cartels like Lourdes. Look, going public, taking this to trial, you're putting her in danger.
I offered them a deal. I can't make her accept it.
Lourdes did not intend to kill anyone.
She intended to cold cock Jorge Diaz. What happens after that is on her.
Mr. Stone,
Now we're just gonna sit here.
I hope you know a good streak. Rojas is asserting an insanity defense.
Las mariposas. The monarch butterflies. Millions of them.
Alright.
They fly from America to the Mexican mountains every fall. And if you look up to the sky, it's like looking at beautiful orange and black angels hovering
Yeah.
over your head, arguing about who to bless. Then in the summers, they're gone.
4
Back to
hours.
America.
No fish.
It's silly, I know. But I used to imagine a little girl in Boston or in New York looking at my butterflies and smiling. And then when Miguel was raping me,
Does that lake have some wall mounter walleye Ron or smaller H class?
Oh no, it's got wall mounters in it. It's just
it was the cold.
we don't have enough snow to make
It was full. It was like a perfectly round circle cut out of a sheet of blackness.
we don't have enough snow to really do anything. We're gonna raid Bexley. They're out sturgeon fishing, so
Now when I look at the sky, it's just a big lifeless rock.
maybe they're having a little better luck.
That day you had Miguel tied up.
Have a great night, thanks for streaming.
Absolutely. I don't know, we'll see.
Walleye Akichi Ta says catching any.
Not since I got on stream. I got 3 walleyes earlier.
Do you remember what you were thinking?
I missed 3 after the stream started, but my neighbor over here in the fish house, my brother Matt's 2 fish houses down, and he said the guy between us was catching perch, so I thought it was walleye tail grabbing fatheads, but it's more likely it was bigger perch. Not real big perch, but they're just perch tail grabbing my bait. So I got some big fatheads down. I'm just gonna
They only live 4 to 5 weeks.
call it a night and wait on them. I don't know. If I catch a couple of decent ones, I'll stay here. Just clean everything out. Haul it home. Otherwise, I'm just going to be saying the hell with it.